What's going on, guys? Let's get through a recap of the rules real quick. So, Influencer Cup, it's today. We're doing it right now. We're playing on VGC 2021 on Showdown. It's bring 6, pick 4 doubles. Double elimination bracket, so if you lose once, you are not out. Remember that. I don't want you guys to leave. Best of 1 until top 4, and then top 4 will be best of 3. Team sheets are not available to your opponents. I'm streaming every match. Hopefully the internet doesn't die. The rules. Everybody, this will be mostly for the non-competitors that are here that didn't know what we were doing. Everybody was given one random Pokemon that they must use. That is your influencer. All of the teams must consist of the following. The influencer, a Pokemon that shares the type with the influencer, a Pokemon that starts with the same letter as the influencer, a Pokemon that ends with the same letter as the influencer, a Pokemon the same color in the Pokedex as the influencer, and a Pokemon from the same generation. What's going on, Tana? Here was an example. Scizor, Butterfree matches Bug, Sableye has the S beginning, Pelipper has the R ending, Crocodile has the red color, and Qwilfish is Gen 2. Generation is the forms generation, so like Alolan Ninetales would be Gen 7. Item clause, you can't use the same item more than once. Species clause, you cannot use the same Pokemon more than once. No switching teams between matches, you only get the one. Dreams clause, if you're holding up a match, I'll DQ you. Oh, cool. The bracket command is there. And then I'll do a quick showdown tutorial in a minute. Yeah, there's the Discord, the rules, and the bracket if anybody wants to see them in chat. And of course, they'll be in the description of the YouTube video. If you look at the bracket in the YouTube video, it will be after this is done, so you will see spoilers. Prizes. We're still doing a $20 Nintendo, Steam, or whatever gift card. And then a free 3D platformer choice from the 3D platformer list. And then the top 3 get gift subs. So, some of you guys may have known that I was excited for the tournament after this one. I don't have any video or anything, but I'm going to give you guys a couple little hints about what the next tournament will be. First of all, it'll be in July, so hopefully that gives everybody out of their school and everything, and they will be able to clear out a day that we can have this tournament. I want this to be the biggest tournament that we've had in July. This will be the second tournament that I'm hosting. I believe it's the second one that I'm hosting that I personally won't be competing in the tournament. I'll still be playing with people, but I won't be competing in the tournament. It's going to have the best prizes we've ever had. And I think the final thing I'll end on, it's going to be the most creative and intentionally be the most team building creative and team building friendly tournament that I've ever run. Oh, and no random things. It'll be no random Pokemon or anything for this one. You guys will have a lot of freedom. Oh, and also we'll do national decks. I'm working with Showdown code stuff to figure out how to make that work. But we're going to do national decks. It'll still be like VGC style, but having national decks. I know, Bunko, I questioned it. But yeah. It's going to be a really good one. I'm not going to reveal the gimmick to it yet. We'll save that for when I actually announce the tournament. But I want to get you guys excited about this one because I want this tournament to be the big one, TM. Anybody have any questions about this tournament before we get started? I guess I should show the bracket real quick. Here's our bracket for the day. Straubs. This was seeded based on how many Twitter followers you have. Straubs is up here by himself because he has the most Twitter followers. Sai versus Nay, me versus Bunko, Trumu versus Viv, Dreams versus Marsh, which is Kitsune's brother, for those of you who don't know, Daisy versus Baby Devil, Bear versus Alex, and Kitsune versus Rope. So, looking forward to seeing how these play out. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we're in our first match. And, I just verified Bear's team, he just sent it to me. But Alex was given Aggron. Bear had Togedemaru. On Alex's side, we have Tyranitar to match the rock typing, Arcanine to match the A, Porygon to match the N, Excadrill to match the color, and Latios to match the generation. And I guess I should double check Aggron, Excadrill. Yep, they're the same color. No, you're good, Alex. Yeah, this is Porygon, the original Porygon. That's going to be an interesting thing, because normally we see, like, Porygon 2. But, everybody predicted. You should go predict if you didn't. Yeah, Porygon 2 ends with a 2, not an N, so he wasn't allowed to use Porygon 2. For those of you who don't know Alex, by the way, he is a friend of mine from college, and he's wanted to join these Pokemon tournaments for a while. But he's finally able to, and looks like we got our first lead here. Togedemaru Ferrothorn against Excadrill Tyranitar. All Pokemon immune to Sandstorm here. A little nervous about this Togedemaru since this Excadrill can murder it. We don't see any items, real quick. I guess I can get some better music for this. Let's grab Pokemon Battle Music Lo-Fi. See what we got. There we go. Yeah, it would have been a forced reroll, regardless of if they've used it or not. Ooh, a Dynamax on the Ferrothorn. Fake out onto Tyranitar. That's pretty standard to stop it, since you would expect Excadrill to Dynamax, if anything. Sturdy saves the Togedemaru from Max Knuckle, so now both Tyranitar and Excadrill get the attack boost. And we had a Max Steel Spike out from Ferrothorn. Seeing a Ferrothorn Dynamax turn 1 is a very weird thing to happen. Very much did not expect a Dynamax Ferrothorn. Normally, Dynamax Ferrothorn is a very obscure thing. And I'm not sure if we can tell, like, is this Ferrothorn somehow offensively built a little bit? That Steel Spike didn't do that much, but Tyranitar is also pretty offensive. Dream, shut up! I mean, we're already seeing some pretty obscure stuff here, Rope. Togedemaru is not super common. Naganadel is not that common either. And then most of Alex's team, if you get rid of the 2 Pokemon that he has out right now, they're pretty uncommon at this point too. So, like, I'm excited to see what what everybody else has too. Well, a Helping Hand onto the Ferrothorn. Max Knuckle into the Ferrothorn does nothing. So I really feel like this is a defensive Ferrothorn. Yeah, and that didn't do hardly anything to Excadrill. This is an interesting combination that we're seeing here. Max Overgrowth puts out the grassy terrain, going to boost up any grass-type attacks by a little bit from the Ferrothorn. I don't imagine anything else has any grass-type attacks from either team entirely. But a swap to the Arcanine. Alright, there goes Togedemaru. It's gone. What are we going to see this Ferrothorn do? Max Steel Spike saves the Tyranitar, barely does anything to the Arcanine. Arcanine's boosted up in that attack stat now. Alex has kind of set him up to a good position here. But what are we going to see the Urshifu do? Urshifu can definitely cause some damage here. It can definitely kill the Excadrill with close combat or something. But I don't know why I'm so thirsty. Gotta not drink so much, otherwise I'm gonna have to stop the tournament like 8 times. I don't think it can kill the Arcanine in one blow. One wicked blow, one might even say. Especially, well, Intimidate won't affect a wicked blow. Ooh, a Rock Slide trying to get the flinch, it looks like. Yeah, wicked blow did not kill. But a Will-O-Wisp onto the Urshifu. Nice, nice. That'll definitely... That's one way that you can affect Urshifu's ability to do damage. This body press from the Ferrothorn, extremely scary. With ×2 defense, and we already saw that it took a hit really well, so its defense stat must be pretty high. Body press is going to be doing a lot of damage. So I'd like to see Alex get that out of here quickly. Urshifu, definitely the fastest thing on the field right now. Tyranitar, not super fast. Arcanine, we've already seen, isn't fast enough. Ouch! A swap into the Latios to take a wicked blow, and a body press onto the Tyranitar knocks it out. Intimidate not going to do very much here because Wicked Blow is definitely it's going to kill whatever. It's not affected by the Intimidate, and Body Press doesn't get affected by the attack stat. I'm wondering if this Latios is faster than the Urshifu and can do something to it. Not if it gets Sucker Punched, it can't. Oh, and a Heat Wave from the Arcanine gets the burn on the Ferrothorn, which saves the Arcanine from death there. But I don't think anything can save him now. I think even if you have extreme speed to hit the Urshifu, yeah, it hits through Protect because of its ability. Yeah. GG's to Bear, moving on. Alex taking that round 1 loss. But it has to happen to somebody, you know? You can't, not everybody can make it through the winner's bracket. Alex definitely had some more potential in that game. So, excited to see what he can do in loser's bracket. Verifying the team, Regieleki is Bunko's Givenmon. Tapu Koko has the electric typing. Regidrago starts with R. Klefki ends with I. Pelipper is yellow, I know that for sure. Yeah. And Dracovish is the same generation. I am in fact terrified.
Ninetales, Blacephalon, Heligo, Togekiss, Haxor. Yep, you're good too.
Prediction.
Oops.
Prediction.
Yep, let me get the prediction up. Hang on, guys. I'm sorry. I was too busy hopping in the chat.
Oh, you're fine. I was distracting you.
Go get him.
Yeah, prediction up. Go predict.
Spend your crown so that you can make Quill play games that he hates. Or
exactly.
likes if you're trying to be nice.
I don't know what I'm going to do about this team. This feels like a match that I can win, but also very easily lose.
I'm so interested in, like, the middle of Bunko's team. Like, the two edges make perfect sense, and then the middle is bewildering.
Rip frames. I haven't dropped any frames.
I was gonna say, it looks fine for me.
Okay. I'm nervous right now. I was dropping frames when I first tried to start the tournament. Where's my dog? Oh, there he is. He's chilling. Okay. Alright. We're gonna start.
Alright, let's see what happens here. Alright, so Quill leading off with that shiny Nihilego and a Togekiss. Bunko leading with the intense electric strategies of Regieleki Tapu Koko. Not great if you're Togekiss to be staring that down, honestly.
Yeah.
But Togekiss may be able to protect Nihilego at least a little bit, so let's see what these two decide to do here. It's with a brutal threat. Oh my gosh.
Hello, Ken. I'm playing in my own tournament right now, so I'm going to let Kitsune speak to you.
Yes,
after
hi
this
Ken.
match.
Welcome.
Welcome in, though.
Regieleki probably maybe calling the protect. Koko just nature's madnessing and perishing very brutally to a sludge bomb. Getting that boost on Nihilego. Pretty scary actually now, because will these two be able to die? Bunko, no!
What do you say?
In case you're not in on the joke, I accidentally ran developer last tournament instead of Drizzle. I still did okay, all things considered. It was very sad though. So Bunko's name here is a little jab at me, and that's all right. It's funny. I'm not too upset. Anyways, we'll see if this Togekiss can live an attack from Regieleki so that the Pelipper gets a chance to hit Nihilego. At least that would be my thought on what Bunko's gonna try here. Aleki could be a lot of items. It could be Magnet, it could be Focus Sash, it could be like Clay, it could be something else even. It could be Choice Specs. Okay, the Jelly is big. The Togekiss is down. The Bird also down, and Sand is here. This jellyfish is now terrifying, by the way. Oh, true, it did have Protect, so it's not choiced. You're absolutely right. Sand goes away, sun comes up, just in time for Dracovish to show up. Not Dracovish's favorite weather, in all honesty. He kind of loves the, you know, the water. Sand's also good. This is not either. This is bad. Actually, Dracovish... I can't remember if it has Sand Rush or Swift Swim. Jellyfish, though, just hiding. Electro Web coming out doing brutal damage to this Ninetales, who is going to take out Aleki in return. I love Regieleki's call, by the way. It's perfect for a little bouncy electric dude.
Oh, that was faster.
Nihilego going for the Starfall.
I thought for sure that was going to be Scarfed.
It could have been. It could be a lot of things.
Yeah. GG Bunko. That was a very scary team, and my turn 1 read on hitting Tapu Koko really paid off.
If you were watching, be wary of the jellyfish.
Fun fact, when I was testing this team, I used pretty much everything except the jellyfish. And then the one time I did, it like paid off big in testing. So I was like, okay, Nihilego, whew, real good stuff. GG Bunko.
Yeah, it's strong if you have the right team for it, for sure.
Alright, let me double check these teams real quick. Viv has the double as his influencer. And his team is out of order. So, Indeedee matches type. Dracovish is the D. Grimmsnarl is the L. Cinderace matches generation. No, Cinderace matches color, and Regieleki matches generation. Cinderace, and I'm sure double is down here. Double, okay. And on Trumu's side, Trumu received Chandelure as his Pokemon. So Cursalust shares the type. Chandelure. Cursalust shares the C. Gengar shares the type. Munchlax is color? Really? Chandelure is gray? Why is Chandelure gray? But yeah. Yeah, that works. Munchlax is gray too. Mr. Mime has the E. Or black, I'm sorry. The background color on the website is gray. And wait, which one? It's Gothitel's a generation. Okay, we're good. Every situation's a dream scenario. Yes. Yeah, he held up a match for 20 minutes. That's also... He did it by not unchecking that box multiple times. Okay, we're going to see a Regieleki Dracovish from Viv's side. Very scary combination. Aleki with the Electro Web can easily slow down Gengar, so Dracovish will outspeed it. Cursula is very slow as it is. Trumu is somebody that you really need to worry about, because Trumu brought a team of 4 Guillotine Pokemon last time. We have no idea what goes through this guy's head. Vicious Wren takes out the Gengar, and a Perish Song goes up from the Cursula. Now, anybody that doesn't really know, Perish Song takes all 3 of these Pokemon out in 3 turns. Gothitelle, very famously a Perish Trapper, very Perish Trap team. Shadow Tag will keep both of these Pokemon from being able to switch out. So, Trumu is going to try to live as much as possible here so that he can Perish Song both of these Pokemon and take them out. Protect comes out on each side, no Dynamax, so nothing's going to happen here. 2 turns left for the Perish Song. I'm not sure what Viv's strategy is for this. Viv has a very, try-hard team, it looks like to me. So, one of the ways to beat a try-hard team is to just very carefully work around everything that you can expect it to do. Now, Gothitelle 100% is going to be surviving this next turn, and Regieleki and Dracovish are gone. Oh, was it Straubs? I've run a Perish Trap team before, and I really, really liked it. I ran a Perish Trap Rain team, and it was a very, very fun team. One of my favorite teams I've ever made. I have 3 teams that are my favorite teams I've ever created. I'm very excited for Gen 9 to create new, interesting teams. So Trumu's down to his last 2 Pokemon. Double Protect from his side. Both of these Pokemon on Viv's side are going down, and it'll be down to the last 2 on Viv's side now, too. What I'm imagining is about to happen is Cursula is going to try to Perish Song. And I'm also going to imagine that Grimmsnarl and Cinderace are going to try to hit it to kill it. That's my guess. I have no idea what Gothitel's about to do. Yeah, Cursula has Perish Body, which is super interesting. G-Max Fireball takes out the Cursula. There will be no Perish Song. And it looks like... I think Trumu's out of this. I don't think Gothitelle can do anything about this situation by herself. I have no damaging moves. Poor guy. He's going to stall it out as much as possible. But this is going to be Viv's game. So, big GG's to Viv. Yo, Run. Welcome in. It's over. GG Viv. Moving on in the tournament. Okay, so Marsh just joined the tournament on Thursday with the Slowbro. So we got Slowbro, or Galarian Slowbro. Shares a generation with Hatterene. Shares a color with Tapu Lele. Armaldo has the ending O. Snorlax has the starting S. And Meowstic shares the type. Yeah, alright. Yeah, everyone's bringing a Lecky because everybody got Gen 9 or Gen 8 Pokemon. And Dreams, coming in with the Rillaboom was his given Pokemon. Got the matching type Amoonguss. Regieleki starts with the same letter. Rotom ends with the same letter. Celesteela, same color, I would imagine. Yeah, there's no way that... Yeah, okay. And then Urshifu, same generation. So you guys are good to go. Good luck, have fun. Oh, Run Aleki is just fast. That's what he does. Yeah, and he has the ability that enhances his electric type attacks. So he has he's pretty good attack stat, but he's extremely fast. Like, Venusaur with double speed from Sun has to be plus speed nature in order to outspeed Regieleki. It's a very interesting thing. But, okay, we're starting out here. We have the Regieleki and the Celesteela versus the Tapu Lele and the Hatterene. I have a feeling that Hatterene's... Well, maybe not. I was going to expect a Trick Room here. But I'm not sure. When a Reflect comes up from the Lele, and then it just goes down. Yo, Yem, enjoy the schnitzel. Oh, yeah, I had jambalaya the other day. So you should know. It's very good. I enjoyed it. Snorlax is out. So the Reflect's up, but I'm not sure if it's actually doing anything, because we don't know if the Celesteela is physical or special. Me IRL? We do know that it's special? Oh yeah, gain special attack from the Beast Boost. Thank you, Nate, for pointing that out. And a Curse comes out, and there comes the Trick Room. So we have both Pokemon on Marsh's side surviving. A Curse from the Snorlax. They're definitely slower because of the Electro Web. And just generally, we already knew they were slower. They're very slow Pokemon. But now, under Trick Room, Snorlax is the fastest thing around. And it looks like it's regular Snorlax, not Gmax Snorlax. So, Hatterene goes down to the Celesteela. Massive defense and special attack coming out from the Celesteela. Meanwhile, we have Marsh down to his last two Pokemon. But the Aleki's gone. The Trick Room's up for 3 more turns. What can Marsh do to get out of the situation? A couple things that we could see. Grassy Glide could be coming out from the Rillaboom. This Slowbro could have Quick Draw. It could out-prioritize... No, I think it's fastest within its bracket, so I don't think it can out-prioritize Grassy Glide. Somebody's correct me if I'm wrong. Well, Fake Out onto that, and Max Darkness onto Celesteela does not hardly do anything. Meanwhile, the Flash Cannon almost takes out the Snorlax. I'm very nervous for Marsh here. This seems like a very bad situation. That Celesteela needs to get out of here now. Max Guard from the Snorlax, protects from the Glassy Glide. Shell Sidearm takes out the Rillaboom. Shell Sidearm, I don't believe we know if this is going to be physical or special yet from that. And an Urshifu's out. This is not a good situation. One last turn of Trick Room. Shell Sidearm changes whether it hits physical... Or is Shell Sidearm's based only on the physical attack? Will Smith. I didn't see it. Okay, we do know that this is a physical Slowbro now. And it's going to need a lot. I believe a Wicked Blow just kills it here. So it needs to be holding a Bright Powder and have Wicked Blow miss. Yeah. So Dream's moving on. Good win. Yeah, Celesteela being able to do either or is it's a very scary Pokemon to run up against. But now for everybody else that plays against Dreams, we're going to know that it is special. So, good luck to everybody else. What is this team from Nay? Nay brings mono flying. Okay, so Nay was given Galarian Moltres. What matches what here? I don't even know what color Galarian Moltres is. It's red, so I'm going to assume Talonflame. Talonflame is red. Zapdos and Moltres end in the same letter. Articuno and Moltres have the same generation. Mantine starts with the same letter, and Pelipper is flying. They're all flying, but, you know. That's true. You're right, Nate. Oh, I forgot to announce the prediction. And then Sai has Scizor. Yo, Soul P Games. Thank you for the follow. Scizor being the mascot of the tournament, I think I have to cheer for Sai, but I also want to cheer for Nay because of the all birds. But yeah, let's see. Snorlax matches the S. Tyranitar matches the R. Porygon 2 matches the generation. Bronzong matches the type. Rhyperior matches the color. Is that right? No. What matches color? I don't think... Does anybody match Scizor's color here? I don't think he has anything that matches color. Rhyperior is gray. And Porygon 2 is pink, I think. No, Porygon 2 is red. Okay. Hold on. What am I missing here? Rhyperior ends in R. Tyranitar is Gen 2. Snorlax starts with S. Porygon 2 is red. Bronzong is steel. Okay, we're good. Sorry. Run. We're using this list. Every Pokemon has a color in the Pokedex, and that will be what the color's based on. Sorry, I wasn't looking at chat there, guys. I was looking at the list of Pokemon. But yeah. Thank you guys for pointing that out. Before I said anything to Sai. So, everybody knows Nay as one of the top competitors of this. Legally a Pokemon professor. But equally a lover of memes. You just imagine his... Zapdos is an ostrich because that's the Galarian form of Zapdos. It is a fighting, flying type. Okay, we're starting. Talonflame Zapdos on Nay's side. Excuse me. Scizor. Get it? Because Sai. And Bronzong from Sai's side. Now, Nay has the disadvantage of the all-bird team, but has the advantage of more experience. Has the disadvantage of memes, has the advantage of Sai being a little wasted right now. So it evens out. We got a fair match on our hands. I'm very excited to see how this one plays out. Galarian Moltres switches in for the Zapdos. Tyranitar switches in for the Bronzong. And it's unnerved Tyranitar. I don't know if that's on purpose. The Disadvantage of Memes was a memoir by Benjamin Franklin. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a nerve. Kenai 2? This has to be on purpose, right? Because Kenai you got on Pelipper by accident, because that's what the default is. But Sandstream is the default on Tyranitar. Big Rockfall under the Trick Room from Bronzong. No, who set up the Trick Room? Yeah, Bronzong set up the Trick Room and then set up a Light Screen. And Tyranitar is burned. So we're seeing a lack of damage on both sides. Got my dog right next to me here, petting him while commentating this one. For those of you who didn't know, Sai recently, with a friend of his, Famine Kid, another Rockfall into Moltres, activates the Berserk. Big Fiery Wrath coming out, does extremely low damage, and a Max Knuckle does not take out Tyranitar. There's no way that's special Zapdos. That must have just been a very strong a very defensive Tyranitar. Sai just recently was a partner in hosting a Pokemon tournament where he did an Elite Four challenge, where him and 3 of his friends were Elite Four members. You had to beat them in a 6v6 singles anything goes Gen 8 tournament. And after that you could face the champion. Moltres goes down to a max Rockfall here. This is second. Now we're on the last turn of Trick Room. Curse Rhyperior is a scary threat right now. 1 turn of Trick Room left and a boosted Rhyperior. I do not want to mess with that. But yeah, after that, I faced a champion, and I was the only one to beat the champion. Yo! The Gale Wings Talonflame hitting the Moltres to get the weakness policy up with the Peck. Counter Rhyperior under Trick Room. Why, though? What is happening in this match? I was wondering why the Rhyperior didn't move first. There's so much that just happened right now. Counter Curse. Weakness policy. Counter Curse. Now I'm imagining, we've already seen the Dynamax from Nay. And from Sai. If Rhyperior has Protect, I'm imagining we're seeing Bronzong Protect come out. Or Trick Room from Bronzong and Protect come out. That's what I'm imagining. But I don't know that for sure. We know Sai's last 3 Pokemon, and Nay has an uphill battle here. You really could, Rope. Everybody's got memes. Oh, he didn't even mention the Talonflame lived on 1 during that turn. Oh, he switches out the Rhyperior so it survives. Meanwhile, Nay tries to take out the Bronzong before it can set up the Trick Room, predicting the Protect. A Flash Cannon from Bronzong does very little. Acrobatic Scizor does some amount of damage. Ooh, a Confusion on the Scizor from the Hurricane. That could be huge. Nay needs so much luck right now. And a Protect, okay. Bullet Punch goes through the Confusion. Both Pokemon getting blocked by Protect. Nay needs to take out both of these Pokemon right now and cannot hit both at once. Does not hit the double Protect. Scizor hits itself in Confusion. What is happening, dude? hurts itself in confusion again. Oh, but it doesn't survive the flash gun. Okay. Well, GG to Sai. Moving on. Sai will be facing Straubs in the next round. But yeah, that's a interesting team you got there, Nay. Excited to see what that can do. That was a very strange battle. That was probably my favorite one so far. Now, let me check these. Baby Devil was given Cloister. Looks like Poliwrath for the matching type. Cinderace for the C. Escavalier for the R. Aerodactyl probably matches color. And Venusaur is the same generation. Aerodactyl and Cloister are both purple. Meanwhile, Daisy was given Kling-Klang. So it looks like Metagross matches type, Kingler matches the K, Weezing matches the G, Komodo matches the color, and Mienshao matches the generation. Alright, both teams are good. And the prediction's up. You guys make sure to do it. That's definitely Kingler. Oh yeah, we're definitely here for the memes. I love Kingler as well. I wish Kingler was a little better. Are you eating something? Alright, here we go. We're starting. Yeah, Bear, I feel you on that. Yeah, Guillotine does not one-shot Dynamax, unfortunate. So we got Escavalier Cloister from Baby Devil's side, and Metagross Mienshao from Daisy's side. We're going to see some interesting stuff here, I think. I'm excited to see where this goes. Switch out into the Cinderace. Ooh, Fling. Salic Berry, Fling, Weakness Policy. This is awesome! I love this! I've never seen Fling Weakness or Fling Salic Berry. I didn't know that was a thing. Swords Dance from Escavalier, but I don't know if that's going to be any help here. So, the one thing in Baby Devil's favor right now is that Mienshao is not very strong, because otherwise Fling would have done more damage. And, Metagross can only target one thing here. A 10 power? Okay, maybe it is a little stronger. U-turn did a decent amount to Venusaur. Steel Spike in the Escavalier lives from... That's from the Sturdy? I don't think that was from Sturdy. Oh, it doesn't get Sturdy. It just lived on a natural one. If somebody hazes this, you're gonna howl? Fair enough. And Venusaur used the Sunny Day to get that speed boost. That's a self-set-up Venusaur right there. I'm excited to see what that does. Maybe if that Venusaur has Sleep Powder, too? Nope, it has Solar Beam, which is resisted by the Metagross, and it dies. And Sludge Bomb does not affect steel types, so I'm sure that was supposed to be going into Venusaur in case it lived somehow or protected. I don't know. I'm not sure what that was for exactly. But yeah, I'm not sure what Baby Devil can do. Oh, there's the Steel Roller. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's a GG. It's over. Steel Roller takes out terrain and has like 130 base power if it does. So that's what the Weezing's Misty Terrain's for. Lots of cool stuff here. Oh, the Dynamax. Not going to be enough to save you on 1 HP, though. I am scared of Daisy's team. Alright, Kitsune's team. We have Mimikyu with the M for Metagross, the U for Tapu Bulu, which I have seen approximately 3 times in my life. Alolan Marowak for the same generation. Cresselia matches Yellow, and Togekiss matches Fairy. And from Rope, we see a very interesting team here. Octillery matches Orbeetle for the O, Cradily for the Y, Lapras for the type, Quagsire for the gen, and Porygon 2 for the color. Crestkiss, yes. Yes, Viv. She took from your tournament winning strat last time. Now, I have no idea what Rope's team's going to do. But Kitsune's team, Kitsune sent me an extremely scary team. Not this one. She sent me a team that she could make with her Mimikyu thing, where she would get Mimikyu, Comfey, and Galarian Moltres for the weakness policy, Berserk, Draining Kiss stuff, Urshifu, Raichu, and Incineroar. That was a possible team for Kitsune. We're starting. We have Porygon 2 and Lapras versus Metagross and Mimikyu. Now, Rope told me before this that all of their Pokemon are going to be named after streamers that they enjoy. So Porygon Parfait is Popcorn Parfait, our friend Noah. Yo, Sai, what's up? Shadow Sneak into the Weakness Policy Metagross. We're seeing another Weakness Policy Metagross. Steel Spike boosting the defense. We got Trick Room coming up. And I'm going to imagine that both these Pokemon are slower than the Metagross and Mimikyu. It was a scary team for you to go up against, for real, Sai. Yeah, this team looks like it's about to live everything. But Weakness Policy Metagross breaks everything. So, I'm excited to see where this goes. Octillery coming out. Oh, and there's the G-Max Resonance from the Lapras, breaking the disguise and putting up the Veil. Now, this is very similar to... what a great roll on the Moody. It's going to negate the boost from Metagross almost entirely. Okay, Sai, I can actually run your match next because you're the top of Winners Round 2. I'm going to run Winners Round 2 and then we'll go into Losers Bracket. So, Sai, you'll be up next versus Straubs. Straubs, I know you've been waiting a while, so I'm sure you're excited to play. So Octillery is taunted. Shadow Sneak. Oh, Water Absorb with the Surf. Oh, I love it. And a Max Geyser into the Mimikyu doesn't do very much, but we got the Rain set up now, which is going to be fantastic. Double Speed Drop for the Trick Rooms. Plus ×2 defense, ×2 special defense. These Moody rolls are amazing right now for Rope. This is prime Kitsune luck. Shadow Sneak into the Lapras does not take it out. So restores a little bit. Mimikyu's down. Meteor Mash does take out the Lapras. So it is finally down. I think that was the last turn of Dynamax 2. So, oh, it looks like the speed rose there and the special attack fell. So that's an unfortunate roll for the Moody on Rope's side. Yo, the dab on stream, there you go. I haven't had one of those redeemed in forever. Porygon 2 is back out. I'm not sure what it's going to do. Tapu Bulu is a scary Pokemon to be staring at here. You have Tapu Bulu, which is going to destroy Octillery, and Metagross, which is not going to die because it's boosted up times 2 special defense and 1.5. Oh, the Haze! The Haze is out, dude! Crazy play. I don't know how much that's going to help, but the Haze is going to be there for Rope in the future if it's needed. Quagsire's the last one here. 3 water types on Rope's side. Not looking good to fight the Tapu Bulu. But we could see another Ice Beam into the Tapu Bulu. Won't take it out. Protect comes out from the Quagsire. Hornleech so that it would gain the health back, but double targeting Quagsire. And no crit for Kitsune, or for Rope here. I think I might have liked to have seen a Trick Room come out from Rope on that last turn. That way you could get the Ice Beam plus an attack from Quagsire out. But it is what it is. This is what we got to work with now. I feel like we might need to double protect from Quagsire, otherwise Tapu Bulu is about to restore half its health. A sashed Quagsire. Did not expect that. Meteor Mash takes it out anyways. And there's the Trick Room this turn. This is Padres. Ice Beam, can we get a freeze? No. Meteor Mash, raising the attack of the Metagross. Hornleech healing that back up. I think this is over. GG's to Kitsune, moving on. Unless this Porygon 2 has a move that I haven't heard of. Oh, the freeze! And the miss! Oh, no, Kitsune! Kitsune! Don't worry, Run. There is a loser's bracket. Where there's a Kitsune, there's a way. The Recover coming out. Stomping Tantrum, taking it back. Okay, and there's the thought. Okay. That's over. It's over. It's over for real this time. I promise that it's actually over. GG Kitsune. And it's up. Straubs was given Grap Locked, so that was a rough draw for Straubs. I can't remember what his first roll was, but it was also bad. But let's see. Heracross matches the type. Gardevoir matches the G. Trevenant matches the T. Lapras matches the color. And Indeedee matches the generation. So, no Malamar. What did Malamar do with Grap Locked? Alright. We're going to see these two face off here. And let's hope they have fun. I am curious to see... I forget what Octolock does. Let's look at what Octolock does. Octolock. Data Octolock. Lowest defense and special defense by 1 turn, or by 1 each turn. Okay. That would be an interesting strat to see. And we don't see any contrary mons on Straub's side. We got a Frisk from the Trevenant, and found a Focus Sash on the Bronzong, and a Heavy Duty Boots on the Tyranitar. Heavy Duty Boots likely not going to be a factor in any of these matches. Sai, very much akin to the singles metagame. Oh, there's the Octolock! It's here! Oh! The double Trick Room! They both wanted Trick Room, so they both used it! Tyranitar. 'Tips. Switch out to her Heracross. Earthquake coming out from the T-Tar. That's an interesting choice. Drain Punch takes out T-Tar in one go. And Trick Room is back up. Scizor comes out. No fire types from Straub's side, so I would imagine this Scizor has a fighting chance. Yeah, Bronzong is heat proof, not levitate. It's a good call out there, Nay. Flash Cannon onto the Heracross. With Acrobatics onto the Graplocked. Nobody's dead this turn, but an Octolock came out onto the Scizor, lowering some health there, or lowering some stats there. Yeah, the heat proof thing could very easily like trick an opponent into thinking that you are levitate, because most people run levitate, because heat proof is not nearly as good. The Drain Punch did 42%, so with this next stat lowering, I would see the Drain Punch winning here. Oh, and Scizor actually doesn't have an item. We see that from the Frisk there. And a Poltergeist onto the Bronzong hits it with its own Focus Sash. Oh, it doesn't kill. Very close. And Acrobatics also doesn't kill in return. I'm surprised to see this Graplock doing as much as it is. I'm happy about it. Snorlax is out. Under the Trick Room is probably going to be the slowest thing on the field here. But Trick Room is about to expire in this next turn. Oh, it's G-Max Snorlax. Bullet Punch takes out Graplocked. Wood Hammer onto the Snorlax barely does anything. And Max Darkness is going to take out the Trevenant. So Straub's down to his last Pokemon here. Against the 1 HP Scizor and a G-Max Snorlax. And normally if you're running G-Max Snorlax, you're running a Recovery Berry. Let's see what this Lapras can do. It's going to outspeed the Snorlax. I don't think it'll outspeed the Scizor. But there's the G-Max Lapras. Bullet Punch, it definitely won't outspeed that. The Resonance comes out, finishes off the Scizor, so we don't have to deal with that. Sets up Aurora Veil, so we'll take a little less damage. Max Darkness comes out, lowering the special defense. That's not going to be a factor. Snorlax. If this Snorlax is special, I'll eat a hat. No, Straub's had the Heracross die a little bit earlier. Max Geyser, getting the water type attack boosts. Another Max Darkness onto the Lapras. I'm surprised we didn't see the Max Strike here, or the G-Max Replenish. Oh, that was it. I can't believe that killed. Run. This is bring 6, pick 4, which is how VGC runs tournaments. So you have 6 Pokemon, and then you bring 4 depending on what you think your opponent's going to bring. But yeah, Ripsai, GG to Straub's. Alright, we're starting.
Okay, so Quill leading with the Ninetales Blacephalon, which is interesting. Vivian going for the Indeedee and the Dracovish. So likely this Indeedee is going to keep all the moves away from Dracovish. I mean, that's normally what Indeedee does. I guess it could do something else. Also, Laugh Lads, that's exactly what I started thinking, and then I got disgusted and wanted to keep myself stream appropriate, so I changed the subject quickly. No. I'm really curious what the Blacephalon is gonna do, because I know it's like a really powerful special attacker. Okay, so it's gonna taunt Indeedee and die to a Vicious Wren. So I don't get to know what else it does. Ninetales Protect, I don't know if it was predicted or if Viv was just more afraid of the Blacephalon. But either way, nothing keeping that Dracovish safe now other than from priority. But neither of these Pokemon often use priority. So I'd be surprised to see Indeedee stay here unless maybe it wants to go for an expanding force or something. Vine Lash from the maxed Venusaur just takes that Dracovish out. Ninetales going for a Solar Beam, which barely touches Indeedee, honestly.
Ouch.
Oh my gosh.
That did a lot more damage than I was expecting.
Okay, so let me back up just a second here, because boy Indeedee is the better attacker of the two. That's not to say girl Indeedee's bad, but For how much that did to both of them, I'm wondering if Viv's got a little investment in the attacking side of this NDD instead of just the defending side.
That's what I'm thinking too.
We got the Regieleki here. I really want to know why it's named Juicy. There's probably a reference I'm missing here.
I have no idea.
I know he said something about there was a theme to all of them, and like, it's missed on me, but that doesn't mean they're not good names. So Venusaur opting to protect itself here. Electrorub almost takes out Ninetales, who is going to overheat and take that Regieleki down. But NDD is going to take Ninetales in return. So, Viv and Quill both down to their last two. So we got the Togekiss and the Cinderace. And now, again, like NDD, Togekiss commonly does the redirect stuff. So we'll see if the Cinderace can touch the Venusaur before the Venusaur gets to it. Togekiss does also do some other things. Some of them run Thunder Wave, some of them run Yawn, some run Scope Lens and Dazzling Gleam and just do insane damage. With the Sunteen, maybe it's running Heat Wave. It's also got things like Helping Hand. Togekiss can do a lot. So we'll see. I'm sure the NDD is just expanding forcing here, because I don't think it has anything else to do. It could be wrong, it could have something else, but that would be my assumption. The air slash flinch thing is a lot more common in singles. So Venusaur goes for the max Quake off probably Earth Power into the Cinderace, who returns back with a max Fireball, takes out Venusaur. NDD with that expanding force.
No.
And Togekiss Dazzling Gleams gets the crit on Cinderace and takes
Oh, I forgot about Vine Lash. Yeah!
cleans it all up. So Quill takes that one pretty handily. Oh, you guys.
What happened?
Okay, my prediction was broken. It said that nobody put points on Viv, but 3 people voted on Viv, and that's not right.
That wasn't an accident. I set up the Vine Lash on purpose, but I did forget that it existed. Whew, that was a close one. Alright, we're seeing Kitsune versus Black Beartic here. Bear's team, still scary. Oh, Rope, that was you. I'm sorry, both of your names are the same color on my screen. I don't know if that's true for everybody, but they were... I was reading a message from Run, and then I read a message from Rope. So, my bad. Yeah, and both start with R. Excited to see what the leads are here. I have a good idea what most of Bear's Pokemon do. Kitsune's Pokemon I can see doing different things. However, it's definitely Trick Room focused. I'm sure Togekiss has Follow Me. Mimikyu definitely had Trick Room. Cresselia, I think, learns Trick Room and probably has it. Alolan Marowak, always a dangerous threat of a Pokemon, going to do a ton of damage. Oh, and here's the Alolan Marowak. We're seeing Feeny Togedemaru in Mimikyu Alolan Marowak. And we have the howling dog music in the background here. Oh, go vote in the prediction if you didn't already. It's about to close. Go, 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 go. Yeah, I'm excited to see how this match turns out. I'm a little worried for this Marowak, because Scald from Tapu Fini will probably kill it. Togedemaru switches out. Marowak switches out. And we have a Calm Mind Fini and Trick Room from Mimikyu. Mimikyu still has its disguise intact after the first turn, which can be huge. You're going to need 2 hits to knock it out for sure. Baird has no Mold Breaker Pokemon on his team. I'm going to switch back into Togedemaru here. I don't know if that was a read or if that was just I want to get a Max Quake off, but that was a ton of damage. Kitsune forgetting about Misty Terrain. Muddy Water busts the disguise. Does a little bit of damage to each Pokemon. The special defense boost definitely helping out. don't know why you would be max quaking an Urshifu unless it was a read for the switch into Togedemaru. So if that was a read, great read on that on your part. My dog is very chill on my floor currently. Helping Hand onto the Feeny. Shadow Sneak to proc the weakness policy. Max Quake into Feeny does not take it out, which is pretty crazy. And a Muddy Water still does not very much damage, so I'm worried about Bear's damage output here. With a +2 special defense on each of her Pokemon, you're not going to do a ton of damage with Muddy Water. Metagross is a threat this tournament. Both of them that we've seen are weakness policy and very strong. Max Quake on the Feeny, but it protected so it lives this turn. Taunt on the Togedemaru, but it's going for Zing Zap into the Mimikyu. Interesting move. I like Zing Zap. I think it's a fun move to use. In case you guys don't know, it is a 30% chance to make the target flinch physical electric move with 80 power. Meteor Mash takes out the Feeny on the last turn of Trick Room, and Mimikyu is down on the last turn of Trick Room, so unless Kitsune brought up another Trick Room setter, then we're seeing no more Trick Room for the rest of the game. And Bulu does not seem like a Trick Room setter to me. Alright. Metagross ready to take a hit from this Naganadel. Naganadel does not, I believe, is always special. I don't think it has a good physical stat. Oh, and a switch out to the Alolan Marowak. Max Flare. Wow! That's with +3 special defense! Metagross goes down! Oh, this turned into from a good situation to a bad situation for Kitsune. That Metagross was ready to take things out, and now it can no longer do that. It is very dead. Helping Hand, Max Ooze onto the Bulu, takes it out for sure. We're seeing Bone Meringue. 2 hitting the Naganadel. Whatever. Hey, what's going on, Franzi? And the last Pokemon left on Kitsune's side is this Marowak. And I can't imagine it living a Max Wormwind from this Naganadel. I'm assuming that it has Draco. There's the Helping Hand, and bam, Max Wormwind takes it out. Wow. That was much closer than the Pokemon living on each side will make it seem. So, good stuff to Bear for taking it. My most feared team of this tournament is Daisies. We still don't know what this Kingler does. We haven't seen the Klinklang, and we haven't seen the Komodo. However, the Metagross Bienshao, massive powerhouse of a team right there. On its own, can take out a lot of teams. But Dreams has a very standard-looking team. You don't think Kingler's coming out at all this entire tournament day? This match, okay. Yeah, with a Rillaboom and an Amoonguss, probably not. And a Regieleki, I don't think it does well against any of these Pokemon. Like, it might be able to kill a Rotom Heat, but it's not fast enough to. We'll go predict, everybody. Prediction's up. Oh, I forgot to say something in the chat there for them. Hey Bear, I'm curious for your thoughts on this. Are you excited for Generation 9 competitive? I'm sure you're excited to play a new Pokemon game. You just like Pokemon. But are you excited to learn new metas for Gen 9? For the record, after this game, I'm going to take a quick break to take the dog out and use the restroom, and then we'll be right back. Yeah, I'm pretty excited too. Okay. Weird looking dog and Mr. Roda, as in Fusroda, versus Regieleki and Celesteela here. I don't know why the Celesteela's name is Schnitzel. Even if the gimmick is not great, I'm still excited to learn a new format. I'm tired of Series 12 for sure. Rising voltage into the Komodo. Clanging Scales does nothing to Celesteela, but almost takes out the Regieleki, and a Thunder Wave onto the Celesteela, paralyzing it. It's not going to be faster than anything for sure now, but the Airstream taking out the Komodo is scary. That's a one mon down that you don't have to worry about anymore. I'm curious to see, because that was a throat spray Komodo, so it got a boosted special attack stat. And here's the Metagross. Do we have another opportunity to self-proc the weakness policy using the Klinklang? Or is this Metagross just going to be a little weaker right now? What's going on here? What is Rinya's Sun? Dynamax from Metagross. Ally switch so that Quinquang takes the Rising Voltage. Max Quake takes out Regieleki. And Max Flare also into the Klinklang. It looks like Metagross is going to be safe because of that ally switch. Now, I'm guessing Mienshao is in the back, and it's going to boost up this Metagross's everything. There it is. Let's see this Fling Salicberry come back out. I'm almost positive that's about what's about to happen. But, on the other hand, Rotom Heat, immune to ground type attacks. Okay, I got you, Bear. It's going to resist steel type attacks by quite a lot. Oh, Max Guard fake out the Rotom Heat. And Max Airstream onto the Mienshao. I don't know if I agree with that play. I think I disagree. I mean, obviously it didn't work out how you want it to. But Mienshao was 100% dead there. And Overheat does quite a lot there to Metagross. Weakness policy procs. And there's a para. There's nothing to hit the Rotom. That's why that play was done. Overheat did 59, so it'll do about 30 this time. Ooh, a T-Bolt comes out instead. I'm surprised to not see another Overheat. Oh, did Sun end there? Wow, Dreams dismantled this team that I thought was going to just run through everybody. So GG to Dreams. Only lost the Aleki in that game. Okay, we're going to switch down to loser's bracket in just 1 second. I need to bet on Bunko. This is a scary team. I thought it was on purpose, Kitsune, because I was like, where is it? No, you're all good, Kitsune. He says, frick, I'm gonna get memed, which is very possible. Trumu, a meme master, only brings memes. And not even like good memes. They're always just like require a lot of luck kind of memes. So Mr. Mime and Gengar versus Kazuya Mishima and Reggie Alecki. Excited to see where this one goes. Ally switch immediately. Electroweb does not care about that. And a Volt switch into the Mr. Mime is supposed to be against the Gengar. Wikiberry heals it back up. So, Trumu's Pokemon living a turn, never good for anybody else. Here comes the Perish Song. Oh, soundproof Mr. Mime's immune to Perish Song. I was wondering what the Mr. Mime was for. Everything Trumu has is there for a reason. Except Chandelure. So, Trumu, not aware of the fact that Volt Switch lets you switch out even if you are, and U-turn, even if you are trapped by Shadow Tag. So Bunko, with 3 Pokemon that have U-turn or Volt Switch, has absolutely annihilated Tru's strategy. I don't think... Yeah, he doesn't have any attacking moves on his whole team. This is GG for Trumu. Wait. Gengar's back. Wide Guard does not affect Thunderbolt. And Fisher's Friend takes out the Mr. Mime. Okay. Never mind. Alright. Yeah, Bunko was absolutely prepared for this team specifically. I don't think I've seen that many switch moves on a single team in a VGC match before. Yo, the Perish Body! Well, GG to Bunko. Fails the max guard. T-Bolt Fish's Wren knocks it out. GG Bunko, moving on. I'm excited to see this one. We got Baby Devil with Hey Armaldo. It's a play on Hey Arnold, probably. And Edboy 3. So Meowstic, commonly known for its prankster shenanigans. Armaldo, commonly known for not being used very much. Excited to see what it is. And this is the same lead we saw from Baby Devil last time. Though, didn't get matched up against the best thing. Unfortunately. Oh, there's the flinch on the Cloyster and a Rockfall on the Escavalier. Escavalier not living much longer here because of that. Marsh is upset that he lost the first round. Also, I just realized that in Losers Round 2, we have Kitsune versus Nei, which is the saddest match. I hate when that happens. I even looked to try to prevent that, and it ended up happening. And I'm sorry. Icicle Spear onto the Armaldo does not take it out, or even do half. And a Max Geyser. Now, you got to worry about Max Geyser here because, oddly, Armaldo gets Swift Swim. Kitsune and Nei are married. Ouch. Big Max Geyser to take out the Aerodactyl. And a Shell Smash in the face of death. Shell Smash comes out. And the Armaldo goes back down to regular size. And we are down to the last 2 for Baby Devil. But one of those 2 is a Cloyster with a lot of boost here. Was Slowbro always naked? Yes. I know you're talking about the tail, but Rain Venusaur. Hydro Pump. What? Baby Devil, what are you doing? No! This is so sad. You meant color? Okay. Oh, our music stopped. That's also sad. Let's fix that. Solar Beam takes out the Armaldo, but my match, my choices. Fair enough. But that's it. That is Mr. Pringle himself. It's loud. Winning that match. So GG to Marsh. Moving on. Two very fun and interesting teams here. And it's unfortunate that one has to go down. I'm a big fan of the triple water from Ropeside. I'm sure that Cradilly has Storm Drain. The Octillery being Surf. I'm guessing Quagsire is Water Absorb, Lapras is Water Absorb, Cradilly is Storm Drain. And then I don't know what Orbeal does. And Porygon 2 obviously is the Trick Room Pokemon. Meanwhile, on Alex's side, I don't know what his Porygon 1 is there for. But we saw the Sand Team stuff. Aggron just kills things when it hits things. It is a hard start for O. Porygon looks dehydrated. Probably is, bro. He lives in a computer. I'm excited to see how this one goes. Alright, Baby Devil. Enjoy your food. Nice timing on that music popping in. The spaghetti code. I love it. We download Porygon 1. Gets the special attack boost. Alolan Doug Trios as the name for the Quagsire is the username of a person. That is not a play on the type of Pokemon that Quagsire is or anything. Protect coming out from Quagsire. Max Knuckle into Porygon 2. I'm guessing it lives by a lot, as always. Ice Beam into the Quagsire does not take it out, and Trick Room goes up on from Ropelino. Ropelino? Rope. Whatever. I'm calling him Rope. The Mewtwo movie looks a lot different. It's true. So let's see. Ooh, a swap out to the Aggron. That's a big swap because Aggron's also going to be slow here. And a recover on Porygon. Max Knuckle into it again. Does 60% this time. Probably would have taken it out if that recover didn't come through. But now you have to be really worried here. Aggron can have Sturdy. It can live any hit. It's going to be slow, so it might outspeed something of yours. Excadrill is very boosted up. It's going to knock out whatever it wants. So where do you prioritize here? Protect. Oh, and a Max Guard. Recover on the Porygon 2, and it takes just a small chunklet from Rock Slide. So that was a good stalling turn from Ropeside. And it looks like Porygon, at least, is going to be faster under Trick Room than Aggron. And you might be able to make a guess on the speed of Aggron based on the Quagsire speed relative to Porygon. Here we go. Switch out into Latios. High horsepower on the Latios does nothing because it is indeed a flying type. Or a levitating Pokemon. Please don't use that. But yeah, that was an excellent turn on Alex's part here. Wonderfully executed to completely waste a turn of the Trick Room, and to Sai says he can't make losers bracket. All right, I'll DQ him from the next one. High horsepower onto the Aggron does a lot of percent. However, weakness policy boosts it up, but it only has heavy slam to hit. Okay, Quagsire's still out. What does Rope bring in here that can combat this Aggron? You have anything faster than it? Do you have anything that can survive a hit? I don't know if you're going to be able to get another Trick Room up, because that Aggron is going to be very strong, and so is the Latios. It's a very exciting and close match here. Let's swap out into the Octillery. A Psychic onto the Lapras. And a Rock Slide. It lives the Rock Slide. Oh, and a weakness policy activates from Rope's side. Aurora Veil get. Oh, a double speed for the Octillery. That might be fast enough to outspeed the Aggron now. And Porygon 1 comes back out. This is in Rope's luck with these Moody's have been phenomenal. So Rock Slide did 56% before. When a Surf heals up the Lapras a little bit. Does a little bit of damage there. Oh, and a Max Geyser went into the Porygon. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, so the Trick Room comes up, and this time from Alex. But I think we've seen that Lapras is slower than Aggron. So we can easily see Lapras taking out Aggron here. Porygon got an attack boost instead of a special attack boost this time, too. Oh, but it's faster. Discharge comes out, does a little bit to everybody, paralyzes the Octillery, which makes it go next instead, and Surf takes out both Pokemon on Alex's side. Now he is left with an Excadrill and a Dream. Yeah, you needed a lot of paras there from the Discharge. This was a pretty good match. I have enjoyed this one. But it looks like it's going to take a lot of luck for Alex to come back from this. Triple Protect? Maybe. But the Surf just kills it. Alright. Rope, accomplishing his goal, winning one match, moves on. And in fact, wins the next match because Sai DQ'd. Rope making top 8. Alright, we'll do the next round of losers now. So next will be Kitsune versus Nei. Lovers Quarrel Time is the name of the prediction. Are you voting for husband or wife? Looks like a lot of the predictions are going towards Nei right now. We got 1K on Nei and 200 on Kitsune. I'm excited to see how this match goes, because Kitsune once told me that Nei is strongest when he brings memes, and I'm nervous for her because of that. Oh yeah, Rope. That's like a pretty standard notation in like Smash and stuff. Usually you put -1 if somebody DQs themselves. I would love to hear about the Basculin sometime. My parents are voting for wife. Yeah, I think we're ready to go. Prediction's about to expire, and I'm excited to see this match here. no matter who moves on, I'm happy for them. And no matter who loses, I'm sad for them. Alex, thank you for playing. I'm happy to have you around in chat for the rest of this too, but I'll be ecstatic if you join the next tournament. Well, there goes the follow me, blocking a peck. I think the peck might have been going into Mimikyu to try to break the disguise. And Reflect comes out from Articuno. So this looks like a screens Articuno. Sounds good, bro. Brother. I said bro and brother, and I mixed them up a little bit. So you got bruh, which kinda... Yeah, no randoms next tournament. I just announced that at the beginning of today. So, excited to see what people do creatively for that. Oh, and we got some... Oh! I don't know if that was a prediction or what, but a yawn into that Galarian Moltres is a huge play. That's gonna... It's either gonna go to sleep or force a switch there, and either one is fantastic for Kitsune. But both screens are up. How funny would it be if this Metagross had Brick Break? Okay, it doesn't. Or if it does, then we're not going to see it. Hailstorm coming out into the Articuno does a ton of damage. Crit onto the Talonflame. Breaks its Gale Wings, and then also does damage through the light screen better. Oh, it crit both. That's why it did so much to Articuno. I'm a big fan of all the Galarian birds, too. I don't like Nay's position here. I think Nay is definitely in the losing side right now. And another crit on... Oh, that was a crit on the Talonflame. Almost knocks it out with the hail damage, but does knock out the Galarian Articuno. Will-O-Wisp comes out into the Metagross, so it's going to cripple it pretty well here. It's not going to be able to do terribly much damage. Well, Bear, apparently you should have used them all on one team. That's what Nay did. I think Moltres was the most successful of all of them regularly. Alright, here comes the big Zapdos. And a yawn onto it. A big play. That's going to nullify most of this Dynamax. I guess it's going to get 2 turns of Dynamax, but then it's going to be sleeping. And there's no switch outs this time, even if you wanted to save it. Mimikyu is back out. Oh yeah, for sure. Now this Moltres can do quite a bit here. It has super effective attacks into both. The Zapdos will be able to break Disguise first. If it chooses to. But I don't know what it's going to do. I'm not sure what the play is. I don't know how much offensive power Kitsune has left on her team. Does not choose to break the Disguise, boosts special defense instead, and activates a weakness policy. Fiery Wrath takes out the Metagross, so the weakness policy doesn't matter, and Disguise is broken from the Fiery Wrath. Oh, and the flinch! I guess that kind of makes up for some of the crits there. With how much luck was involved with it, but... a little scary here. Trick Room from Mimikyu would have definitely been able to seal this, I think, because this Marowak would have been able to take out the Moltres, probably, under Trick Room. But now, both these Pokemon are weak to this Fiery Wrath. Protect comes out. Fiery Wrath, what's it going to do? Oh, I forgot that Fairy resists Dark for a second. Trick Room is out now. Now we have a much better fighting chance for Kitsune here. Flare Blitz activates that Berserk. Will-O-Wisp was coming out from Mimikyu. I don't know. Okay, well, there was a misplay from Kitsune's side. But yeah, the predictions already ran, so you guys go ahead whenever you're ready. Bunko's team is so scary, dude. Klefki is the only thing that I'm not scared of here. And it could definitely have some, like, prankster light clay screen stuff. Or, I don't know. Could be Magician Klefki with normal gem Hyper Beam. Really could be. Are you eating something? No? Just sniffing? Are you sticking your head in the cubby? My new desk has cubbies. I think you can see that there's a cubby here. But Augie just decided to stick his head in one of them. Now he's back on the couch there. Yeah, I think predictions already ran and are done now. Yeah, it looks like 90% towards Bunko, 10% towards Daisy. Magician! Can we see it? Is it going to Hyper Beam? I need to know. No, so Rope, there's a ability called Magician, and there's a Volt Switch into the Metagross. Yeah, Magician Klefki was from the first Pokemon tournament we ran, over a year ago now. But no, it looks like it's prankster screens, which is what I expected it to be. But yeah, Magician was an ability that Kitsune got in a randomizer tournament, where you were given an ability for one of your Pokemon, and you had to pick a Pokemon with that ability. And if I remember right, Klefki is the only Magician Pokemon in Gen 8. And Magician, I guess I can give you the data for it. If it has no item, it steals the item off of a Pokemon it hits with an attack. So Kitsune attempted to run Hyper Beam Normal Gym, so it would power up Hyper Beam and hit something, and then steal the other Pokemon's item at the same turn. A very interesting ability, but not very useful, especially when you have Prankster as your other possibility. Wait, it doesn't work with gems? That sucks. I don't actually know what Burn does. I think it halves the base power of physical moves. Does anybody know that? The answer? Alright. Foul play. Well, Klefki's gone. Foul play powers up the Metagross. And it looks like a Hurricane did just a chunk to Weezing. Oh, it's probably a status burn. But a Taunt came out onto the Pelipper. So it can't use Tailwind now if it has it. I could easily see this Dracovish taking out this Metagross right now. I'm kind of surprised we didn't see more of this Fling Salic Berry onto the Metagross. But Daisy is indeed a professional Pokemon player, and I won't question her choices too much. I'm surprised the Dracovish isn't named EWGF, because of Fishious Rend being such a strong move, and Kazuya's stuff. Kazuya Mishima. Electric Wind Girlfriend. That is a really good name here, Viv. Now, huge weight going on. Bunko booted up Smash because he was a little bored during this one. Max Guard blocks Vicious Rend. U-turn onto the Kingler. Kingler actually coming out for once here. But yeah, Dracovish not be able to... Oh, it was Daisy actually taking too long. And we're not going to see G-Max Kingler. But you don't get Swift Swim. You get Hyper Cutter, Shell Armor, or Sheer Force. His name's Eugene. That's Mr. Krabs' names, right? Mr. Krabs' name? I don't know too much about SpongeBob. I think that's correct, though. Gene Krabs. Goes for the double protect and misses it. Thunderbolt takes out the Metagross. And a Sash on the... Oh, what? It lived a Vicious Rend? Oh, it went first. Okay, never mind. Mienshao is here. You still have a Weezing in the back. You can hit... Do you have Fake Out with the Mienshao? You definitely have Fake Out with the Mienshao. So you can kill the Regieleki with Fake Out if it doesn't switch. Yo, Neo! How you doing, bro? Do it, my king. Protect comes out from Regieleki to block the Fake Out. Dynamax on the Dracovish. Knocking off its Choice Band is not going to matter. And a Wormwind onto the Rat is going to lower its attack stat. Honestly, I don't think that matters too much. This is a rough situation for Daisy here. The tournament's going pretty well, Neo. You should look at the bracket. Electro Web hits both. Salic Berry ups the speed back to normal. But I can't see a way out of this for Daisy. Mienshao with 5% versus the world. Yeah, that's it. I am surprised, but good stuff to Bunko. Bunko, pay more attention because you are in top 8. And I don't want to hold up everything. So next we have Viv versus Marsh. That'll be the last match of Losers Round 2. But GG Bunko and Daisy, thank you for playing again. I appreciate it. Alrighty. Last match of Losers Round 2. And channel point prediction is up for Marsh versus Viv. And I'm excited to see how this one turns out. Viv, commonly using pretty standard stuff and is a practicer. And it looks like we got a lot of Psychic types out here. I don't know if that's true, Bunko. You go back and forth. Cotton Guard comes out on the double. We got Trick Room out from the Hatterene. I'm not sure how much Cotton Guard's going to help you. These are both special attackers. Prediction's still running. People can still vote in that. Follow Me comes out, but a Expanding Force. And a Taunt. Okay. Double is alive for one more moment here. But there are no more Follow Me's coming out. I don't see what the double is going to do. Expanding Force does a little bit. Expanding Force does a little bit on the other side. A light screen comes out. I am concerned for Viv here because it looks like his lead was not good. Looks like Marsh was very ready for this team here. And Viv was the winner of our last tournament. Is that right? I'm not mistaken there, am I? Cinderace Dracovish comes out. Both of these are very very good offensive threats, but you have Reflect up still and a Trick Room up still. So can you live long enough to do something with it? Dracovish cannot. But it looks like Cinderace is going to be here for a moment. Okay, Viv did win. It was versus Dreams. I couldn't remember. I was almost 100% sure that Viv had won. I don't like the chances here. Cinderace 47% versus the World. I imagine we're going to see another Steel Spike on the Lele. Yep. Get that defense boost versus this Slowbro that we know is physical. How much is that going to do? 22%. This is Life Orb Cinderace, so I don't think you have an out here. Yeah, and Reflect is still up. G-Max Fireball onto the Slowbro does 29%. Not nearly enough. You needed a crit and a Dream. And yeah, that is it for Viv. GG to Marsh, taking out Viv, our last tournament's champion. Getting knocked out pretty early this time. Me versus Straubs.
Oh, yes, the grab lock. That's right.
Yeah. It terrifies me a little bit.
I couldn't remember Straubs' team because it's been so long.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the grab locked was actually good. It was very strange because grab locked is kind of a Pokemon I look at and go, oh, this isn't good, for lack of a nice way to say it.
Yeah.
Quill, this...
What's up?
This isn't semis.
It's winter semis. It goes into the winner's finals, and then the next one's grand finals.
Oh, yes, I forget.
That's alright.
Grand finals confuses me because I just assume it's...
Yeah.
I'm good at tournaments, don't worry. This is why my husband's the organizer.
Okay, I'm gonna pick my Pokemon now.
Alright, so what's gonna happen here against... I'm looking at Straub's team, and I'm not seeing an amazing way to deal with this Nihilego. Unless you do exactly this. But the problem is he led... Is Straub's a he?
Yeah, Straub's
a he.
Yeah.
He led with this, so we'll see what happens here. We'll also see if Blacephalon does anything other than taunt. I'm thinking probably not, to be honest. Wait, the Guardy did trace Beast Boost. That's terrifying. Wait. Oh, it hits both. Okay. I did not know Mind Blown hit both.
Yeah, it does.
That's yucky.
Yeah, it's a good move. It's a very fun move, and it's my favorite meme.
Wow. Yeah, I never knew it hit both because I I've never seen this thing in doubles.
Ow!
So, the double expanding force, super gross. Beast boost, also gross. Venusaur is gonna be very fast, which is not good while Trick Room's up.
Yeah.
Follow Me does nothing against expanding force. This is, yeah, Max Guard's the option. Okay, Togekiss is slower than both of them?
I don't know why.
Wait,
I'm confused too. Don't worry.
so like, base stat-wise, yeah, but why Trick Room then?
Right, right.
Okay, well anyway, Graplock's here. Let's
And-
see what it's gonna do.
I'll go ahead and admit that this is not min-speed Togekiss either.
Well, it's uninvested though, right?
I don't think so. I think it actually has a little bit of investment.
Also, Viv, I did not pick up on your naming theme, but I was really curious why your Aleki was named Juicy. The Dazzling Gleam and Vine Lash is just going to take out Indeedee and Graplocked, so now Straub's is down to their last one. Which... Lapras is not necessarily the last one you want. Not in the face of a Vine Lash here. Straub's does have Max though, maybe he can get a Resonance up, which would help some.
How much does this do? 50?
Well,
Alright.
does half even with the Aurora Veil. The Vine Lash chips it even more. It's looking rough if your name is Straub's.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. Straub's has a 10% chance to win this game.
Yeah?
Yeah, I have Frenzy
But it
planned.
didn't happen.
It did not
I
happen.
know.
GG Straub's.
The yeah wasn't questioning, it was agreeing. But
Okay.
yeah, Frenzy Plant is strong.
Yeah. Gulf.
So there's an Urshifu on both sides of the field here.
There very much is, yeah.
There's also this really bulky, problematic Celesteela.
Yeah, nobody's been able to deal with that yet. Kinda hoping
I'm
I get to fight it
curious.
since I have a Blacephalon and a Ninetales.
Yeah, yeah. Half of Dreams' team is weak to Blacephalon Ninetales, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Anyway, yeah, we got the match between this bulky Celesteela that I think has yet to die.
I think so.
Please scare me. I wonder if that's an indication of what ability the Thundurus has.
Yeah, I think it probably is. And I'm a little concerned for the Celesteela's life this turn. Because both these Pokemon are not dying to Regieleki. And both of
Right.
them can kill a Celesteela if they team up on it and hit it with some massive electric powers.
Especially, let's see. Okay, Dreams did not go for the Electroweb. Good for Dreams' sake, at least.
Wow. Bear, I
those who
think, was making a
don't
read
know-
there. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. For those who don't know, Thundurus also gets Defiant in addition to Prankster, so Electroweb would have boosted its attack by 2, which would have been pretty nutty.
Absolutely.
Not what happened.
I think
The Rockfall is also good.
Bear might have been predicting a Protect from the Celesteela since it could have died immediately.
Right.
But I'm kind of wondering, is this Celesteela AV? I don't know if we've seen it use Max Guard.
I don't think we have. That doesn't mean it doesn't have it. but
Right, right.
I don't think we've seen it. Bear also could have been predicting Volt switch out into anything else. Third Shifu maybe. I can't imagine you would send out a Moongus into this.
Yeah.
Or Rillaboom for that matter, so could have also just been trying to get some speed priority going.
Got the para off of the Nuzzle and then immediately the immediate full para off of it. Thank you
Yeah.
for the Amogus there, Viv. Appreciate it.
I don't appreciate it, Viv. Yeah, Nuzzle's a nice utility move, and that it's pretty weak, but it'll always paralyze.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a nice little bit of chip to break a sash if it exists.
Yeah, for sure.
Not that I think Celesteela has a sash, you know.
Right. But also that, I mean, that's 7%. 7% has mattered before, multiple times in this tournament.
Absolutely has. Interesting to see the double target up into the Alecki there.
And he gets the flinch off of the Zing Zap. Could be huge.
Yeah. This... Okay.
That could have been the death of Togedemaru.
Could have been Togedemaru or the death of the Thunderous, too.
Yeah.
Big thing on Bear's side, he made it through the Celesteela's max without it getting a single knockout, so it's not boosted at this time.
For sure. And there we do see that this Thunderous is physical, so it would be getting Defiant boosts if getting
this
Electro
poor
or something.
Celesteela. I'm sorry to cut you off. This poor Celesteela has not gotten to move for 3 turns in a row? No, it got to move last turn.
Yeah, it got to move last turn, but it's gotten 2 full paras out of 3. Oh yeah, Rope. Wild Charge takes out the Regieleki, and Zing Zap takes out the Celesteela. We've seen this is the first time we're seeing Dreams in a bad position.
So Rodham, Rillaboom here. Rodham is in a decently good spot. Rillaboom, it depends what that Thunderous has.
Yeah. We know it has a flying type move, but that might be Fly.
It's probably, if I had to guess, Fly.
Yeah. It doesn't like get acrobatics or something, does it?
I don't think so. I think it's pretty much just Fly. I think that's the air quotes problem with the genies, or at least the physical genies.
Right.
So Togedemaru actually leaves for Tapu Fini.
Good call on the fake out. Ooh, and an overheat.
Overheat. Interesting to see the overheat and not like a Thunderbolt or something when you know it doesn't have Lightning Rod. It's pretty weak. Good read on Bear's part though.
I think Bear has just read Dreams like a book here on this one. And then also got 2 paras on the Celesteela.
Yeah. The switch into Fini also got rid of the terrain, so no priority grassy glides from the Bulu.
Oh, yeah.
And there's that,
Brain dead, LOL.
Shifu with an interesting name. Interesting. Rillaboom probably doesn't have Protect, so it's probably just gonna have to take the Fly. But it does take it.
I can't believe it took it.
I'm a little surprised also. It's gonna die to the recoil from Woodhammer.
Imagine if Dreams had Discharge there and just killed both of them.
It would have been nice, but it's still hard here with Rodham versus 2.
Yeah. And there we see it. Para stinks.
Yeah, I feel you.
There it goes. That is GG to Bear, moving on to the winners finals. I'd really like to see what Ney does to combat a Regieleki Tapu Koko, because it seems impossible.
Especially because he chose to take Zappy and not Landorus. Just so he could have the full set. And he did debate Landorus. He talked about it a little bit with me. We didn't really know each other's teams, but I knew he was kind of toying with the idea of the birds.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's like, I could run Lando, but then I can't run the whole squad of the Galarian birds. And then I wouldn't run Zappy, and I whined at him, but I told him, you do what you gotta do.
I think he could have run Landorus over Pelipper. That was the flying match.
He could have.
So he could have all 3 birds and Landorus. Then you don't get Rain for Mantine. Okay. We haven't seen the Mantine yet, so maybe it didn't matter.
Wait, hold up. Does your Mantine have Swift?
I forgot that this thing got Swift Swim. I've never seen that thing move quickly in my life.
Hold on, Nay. What is your man? I mean, we're not gonna see this match because you're looking at 2 things that hit it for 4 times super effective. There's no way he brings it. I'd love to see it though.
Togedemaru is the kinda OG Togekiss Light. What?
I think he's comparing it to Togekiss in VGC where it yawns and then spams Dazzling Gleam, but I'm not quite sure that's apt because Togekiss also gets redirection and Togedemaru gets Fake Out.
Yeah.
They're both like supporty attackers, but they fulfill different things.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Paraflinches, yeah. Okay.
I understand now.
Bunko in the chat trying to psych Nay out. Hey, have a good night, Yam.
Good night, Yam. Bunko! Bunko, you take like 10 steps back.
Kitsune about to defend Nay with her life.
Look,
About to
man,
hit Bunko with a bus like she did to that one kid.
I did not hit a kid with a bus.
How
Maybe
did Talonflame
Bunko's number
survive
1 fan.
that?
I don't know.
That's not
Actually,
Sash. That's 2%.
What is your Talonflame? Anyways, I may be Bunko's number 1 fan. He can't make out with my husband. Marsh,
That's
no! I did not hit a kid with a bus! Brother, why?
Does your brother know that you have told the story of beating up a kid on a bus to us? Is that something
I
that
don't
he was
know.
aware of?
Probably?
It's definitely not
She didn't say
AV
on
because
Fish's friend.
wait, does Fish's friend hit into a protect? Is that what just happened? No, it hit the.
it did half to Zappy.
Okay, I didn't see it. I missed something there. But yeah, we got the Max Quake took out the Regieleki, which is huge.
Yeah, Tailwind is up, so Zappy went first.
Yeah.
What? No, I'm not beating anyone up. Look what you started.
I love this because you're the nicest person, so it's fun to tell everybody you're gonna beat people up.
I'm not beating people up.
Commonly.
Although, if you do bully Marsh or Nay, you may get in trouble.
Yeah.
We may
There's
have
a Big
problem.
Max Airstream.
That burned Dracovish is very sad now.
Mm-hmm. Not doing enough damage, even in the rain, to take out the Zapdos. The Mantine!
Wait,
It's here!
Alright, Nay, show me the goods.
Neo.
Yeah, for Nay or Marsh, there may be fists. But otherwise, I'm pretty passive, honestly.
Yeah. Pelipper
Goodbye,
comes
Coco.
out.
Hello.
but-
Ooh, good read.
Yeah, for sure. And a Hurricane almost takes the Dracovish out, but not quite.
Hold
Vicious
on.
Wren finishes it off.
Hold on. Can we talk about the offensive Hurricane Mantine with the Life Orb?
Yeah, this is fantastic. I'm sure it's good for like max airstreaming with the rain up too. But Hurricane takes out the Pelipper. Vicious Rend into the Pelipper does nothing. Tailwind comes back up. I don't know if that was necessary.
Coco's coming, so I think
yeah.
it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it is.
What do you do
depending
about
on
this
how fast
Coco?
the Mantine is. Well, I mean, Mantine does get water moves, which would do fine.
Do you hit a Hydro Pump here?
Does he have Hydro Pump?
He has Hydro
Does
Pump,
have
and he
it.
does hit
does
it.
hit it.
You have to hit
Bye,
Mantine.
Mantine.
Scald does take it out. Do you live this Vicious Rend? You do not, because it crits. And I think that
Oh.
crit mattered. How much did it do the first time?
I don't know. 64?
Is that right?
That was when the thing went second.
So it would have done about 32.
So
And
it
it took-
might have mattered.
It might have mattered.
Oh my gosh. It depends on rolls, obviously. To be for
Wow.
sure, but... Oh.
imagine bringing Pelipper Mantine against Regieleki Tapu Koko, and yeah, that's what we were saying
by
there.
that name. That's what we said. It'd be about 32, depending on rolls here.
Yeah,
Oh
insane.
My
That crit had a good chance of mattering, and good stuff to Bunko for not giving up, I guess, and moving on in the bracket. And next we have your other favorite person in the world, Marsh, versus Rope. And we're up.
gosh. Oh, we are up. I gotta get up there. Gotta go watch Seto Pringo. I put Seto Pringo. Gotta watch Seto Pringle.
Bunko, you are currently 3-1. You have the chance
Yes,
to do better.
Yeah, Bear, you actually get to play VGC now.
Yeah, best of one is not a format that I really like doing. I would have rather had best of 3, but I also like showing everybody's teams on screen. So like, it's hard to get that right balance for like a 5-hour stream.
Yeah, and to keep everyone invested the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So we got this Trick Room surf spam team on Rope side, and we have a Trick Room expanding force spam on Marsh's side.
Yeah. We're not seeing that mode this time. We're seeing the Meowstic Armaldo again.
Looks like it.
I want to see this Orbeetle and the Cradilly come out. I don't know.
I think Cradilly could end up being pretty big, but it's hard to say.
Knockoff takes out the Violite on the Porygon 2. It's a huge hit there.
Yes, that's a big deal.
Protected from the fake out though. That's a pretty good. You don't get that chip, which is always important.
Yeah. It's interesting now because if this Quagsire does have Water Absorb like we're suspecting, the Armaldo doesn't have an amazing way to hit it with everything we know about it right now.
Yeah, I mean, you got Knockoff, Rock move, Water move, and we don't know what the last move is, but probably Protect.
I can't remember if we saw it max guard or not.
It switches out.
There it goes.
Double switch.
Toxic.
Miss. And a foul play onto the Snorlax coming in, and that's a...
Which did a lot.
Yeah, it did.
I see actually that the Toxic went into where Slowbro is, so it wouldn't have affected even if it did connect, let's say.
Yeah.
It is a poison type.
Yeah.
Dude, Viv, all my attackers were physical except Togekiss.
I only have one physical attacker on my team.
Alright, so Quagsire's gone for Lapras. The Slowbro maxes.
Max knuckles into the
Ooh.
Porygon, but it lives.
Okay, so this Snorlax is gonna get real beefy if it lives.
Yeah. That foul play almost takes it out, but it's definitely the slowest thing here right now, which means it's the fastest thing because of Trick Room.
Yeah. Ooh, this is scary. If you're Rope, do you max your Lapras and try to get that Aurora Veil up, or do you save it for Quagsire or whatever your fourth is? Is your fourth just Octillery? There's a lot here.
This is a hard call. I think if you max the Lapras, you have to double into the Lapras to kill it. I think
so.
One or the other can kill it, which means the Porygon will take out the Snorlax if it foul plays again.
Although, okay, if Slowpoke goes first and it max Knuckles, maybe Snorlax could kill Lapras. Oh, but that's not what happens here.
Instead, neither dies, and Weakness Policy activates, and a Geyser comes out, not even the Resonance. Very much expecting the Resonance.
Maybe Rope trying to make sure that Armaldo can't come out and be a problem because of the Swift Swim, so now it's just fast.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Trick Room ends in a turn, So I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, if Armaldo was the last Pokemon alive, I could see that being a really good play. I want to protect from the Meowstic, protect from the Quagsire. Max Knuckle into the Lapras does not knock it out. What are we going to see? There's the Resonance. So now the Veil is up.
It did so much to that Slowbro.
It really did, yeah. And now we do know that Slowbro is slower than Lapras because of Trick Room being gone. It had been moving first these other couple turns. So the speed order is definitely going to be Meowstic, then Rope Side, then Slowbro.
Could be, yep. So what can Meowstic do
Oh
here?
yeah, Neo pointing out a good point here. Snorlax with Thick Fat, if the weakness policy didn't get procced, might have been able to live a Resonance.
Maybe. We don't know for sure if it was Thick Fat, though.
Right.
We can
But Rope-
probably rule out... It's probably Thick Fat.
That Expanding Force did not kill. Water Absorb bringing the Lapras back up a little bit, and Max Geyser taking out the Slowbro before it gets a chance to move. Now Armaldo's out.
Armaldo has a rock move, though.
It definitely has a rock move. We saw that once, I think.
So, if you're Meowstic, you probably Expanding Force the Quagsire and then wait for Armaldo to Rock Slide?
Yeah, this is...
If that's the move of choice?
We got an interesting couple turns here. But it's also very notable. Rope has 2 Pokemon in the back. Oh, it has X-Scissor.
Okay, X-Scissor, so it doesn't have Protect. That's kind of what I thought. I wasn't sure.
Good chunk out of both of those Pokemon.
Big follows? No.
I love big follows.
Oh, actually, it was Mount Viewers.
Okay,
Wow.
that's a new one.
Goodbye.
X-Scissor. Okay, both Pokemon are down on Rope Side.
So it's down to a 2v2, but the rain's gone, and Aurora Veil is still up.
Yeah, Porygon probably not going to live here. But
Alright.
we got Chat Illy.
So this is interesting, because can
haven't seen this
Cradily
yet.
hit both of them in a meaningful way?
Does get Rock Slide, but is it going to be special? With Storm Drain?
You would think so. And would Rock Slide do enough to Armaldo?
Yeah, this is a lot of questions here. Ooh, Expanding Force doesn't take out the Porygon. X-Scissor doesn't take out
no.
Cradily. Foul Play does take out Meowstic. And Ancient Power Cradily takes out the Armaldo. And Rope takes out Marsh.
Wow.
GG. Porygon was clutch.
Yeah, even without the Eviolite, still just hanging in there.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh my goodness.
I don't
Also,
listen.
I
I'm
just
sorry.
want to say, and I mean no disrespect, but Straubs is killing it with this Graplock that I thought was
Yeah.
gonna lose like round 1.
Yeah. To be fair, we've seen Straubs play twice. We saw him win against Sai and then lose against me because he had a bye in round 1.
I suppose.
But I do hope that we get to see it again because when it did work against Sai, it worked phenomenally. Very excited to see how this plays out. Trace the Transistor, okay.
I don't think that's gonna be useful, but
The Spadef boost on the Indeedee with the Psychic Seed should be useful though.
Spadef?
Have you never heard that?
No.
Really? I used to hear that a lot. Nobody says Spatak, but they say Spadef.
Attack. Oh dear. Alright, we're moving on. I'm curious. Oh yeah, Bunko did rename his Alecki.
To Dragon Uppercut.
Yeah.
Follow Me comes out. Electro Web obviously hitting both still. But Vicious Rend doesn't take out that
Hangs in
Indeedee.
there because Follow Me goes first.
Yeah. Maybe that's where I picked it up, Bear.
Yeah, I don't watch YouTubers very much.
Oh, double Expanding Force takes out the Dracovish.
Hi, Mr. Fish.
Will be missed.
Pelipper floats on in.
You know, it's possible that speed drop mattered to get Gardevoir slower than Dracovish. Oh, the Tapu Koko comes in to stop the Expanding Force from hitting both slots, which is a pretty good play. And now the Indeedee gone, so Expanding Force will not be hitting both slots again. What do you mean bad luck, Bunko? You haven't gotten any luck. Oh, there was a crit. So yeah, we got Regieleki back out. But there's still 2 turns of Trick Room, so Regieleki is definitely going last here. I'm not sure what the Pelipper is going to do. I also don't know what any of these Pokemon are about to do in this situation. None of these, except for Regieleki hitting Lapras with an electric type attack, seem like a very likely option. Ooh, Dynamax
I got
from
a confession.
What's up?
My mic got muted.
I was wondering what happened to you. I thought maybe you just had something going on.
Nope. I lifted my mic to take a drink, and then when I pulled it back down, it didn't unmute.
Alright, so everything lived there, which was surprising. Because Aleki Dynamaxed and took a massive amount.
It sure did.
But living, it's always important there. And this is the last turn of Trick Room, so now Aleki's going to be able to knock something out here. Almost for sure.
It's just Aleki all on its own, so this isn't
Oh,
looking very good.
I didn't realize Aleki was the last Pokemon.
Yeah.
I was too invested in everything else that was happening. Needed that confusion to stay there for 2 more turns and to activate twice in a row. Needed a lot there. Needed a lot. Yeah, GG's to Strops. Moving on into the top 4, where he gets to play in the best of 3 format. Always a good feeling to get there. And the last match before top 4 is Dreams and Rope. We got Rope versus Dreams here. Rope with the very abnormal, non-standard, whatever you want to call it, team. And Dreams with a pretty standard team. So it's we always have a good mismatch when we get that. You never know what's going to happen, because like we have 2 standard teams going up against each other. You can usually see like, oh, this one has an advantage in this way, so it's more likely for them to win. And then if you have 2 unstandard teams going up against each other, a lot of times you're like, okay, well this gimmick probably out gimmicks that gimmick, right?
True.
But when you get this, the one very abnormal team and one very normal team, you never really know how it's going to play out. Who's going to make the right reads, that kind of stuff.
Because normally, either the standard team obliterates the gimmicks before they happen, or the gimmicks pick apart the standard team and make it unable to function.
Right.
Also, I just want to say, we still haven't seen the Orbeetle. I wonder if it does anything, or if it's just because O is a hard letter.
I'm hoping it does something, because Rope messaged me and was like, hey, I'm looking to name my Pokemon after streamers that I enjoy. And I need people for Orbeetle and Cradily. And I was like, I really like Orbeetle. I ran a team. You remember that team that I ran?
I do. I helped you test it.
Yeah. With
That's
a Flapple
where my
fan.
alternate account came from. Okay, match is starting. Starting.
But yeah, the Orbeetle is named Quillbeetle.
Qwilbeetle.
And then Cradily is Chat-Illy for Chat I Love You. So I was really happy about that.
Porygon Parfait for Noah, because Popcorn Parfait.
Yeah.
Rope getting a little worried right off the bat.
Yeah.
This is a brutal lead, though.
Mm-hmm. We got some classic jamming battle music right now. I know you're not listening to the stream, but I'm going to look just so I don't say the wrong thing here. Uh, we're looking at. Apparently, this is supposed to be Mewtwo from X and Y. It's not what I thought it was.
Man, Urshifu going through Protect just curses poor Rope right out the gate.
Yeah.
Steel Spike comes up to get the defense back from close combat and also give Celesteela some defense. But Rope does get Trick Room, so there's a tiny consolation there. I still think that Unseen Fist was one of the worst abilities to ever be added. Very gross, very not fair.
It would be fair if the Pokemon that it was on wasn't this strong otherwise.
There's that true. Viv Celesteela's Bamboo, which is also pretty layered. Okay, look,
It's here!
Beetle.
Now we just have to hope it actually does something.
Well,
if it just
it's in
dies,
Trick
I'm gonna be
Room,
sad.
So it's got its chance.
Yeah.
Unless this Urshifu also has Sucker Punch, which I don't know why you'd run that with Wicked Blow. Well, sometimes, I guess.
I think it
Yeah,
can
go
live a
through
Sucker
Protect
Punch.
and
Though.
always crit is obnoxious. You're right, Neo.
Right. Unseen Fist Barrel. That'd be great. I'm down. It also works better in the Dynamax meta, where you can still max guard it.
Yeah, because then you have to Dynamax your Urshifu to go through Max Guard, which is
Right.
also dumb.
Yeah.
Okay.
Helping Hands? Foul
Onto the-
play, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
Rope doesn't have answers.
Oh, that poor Orbeetle.
Yeah,
Quill, I can't believe you got bopped.
I got mega bopped.
Yeah, Urshifu is not my favorite.
I don't know if I've
You know-
ever seen the G-Max Rapid Flow animation.
I'm not sure I have either. I've seen G-Max 1 Blow or whatever it's called, but I don't think I've seen Rapid Flow. Or if I have, it's been a very long time and I don't remember.
Yeah. So story coming into this match is Rope was only trying to win one match in this event and ends up in the top 6. But meanwhile, Dream's trying to win the whole thing because he's avenging his second place from last time. The Toxic. The double block from the Porygon. All
Good
right.
Max Guard.
Now what?
I don't know. But the Toxic will help very slowly, but you have to live long enough for that very slowly to happen.
Right, and Toxicing Urshifu has to be like the worst one to get a Toxic one. Because you can't even protect the stall.
Yeah. Yeah, Bear, you can share a link. I'm assuming it's just to the G-Max Rapid Flow.
Okay, yeah.
Please watch it between rounds, though. I'm sorry, I should have let you do that. I assumed what it was and said yes.
Oh, no, you're good. He can post a link anyways. I assume as long as he doesn't post something stupid, yeah.
Yeah,
Poor
Poor
Rope.
Rope.
A high horsepower,
Okay.
max darkness, does 3%.
Okay.
Max higher
Okay.
lives?
So I wonder if Rope's only attack on the Porygon is, oh, foul play. I was gonna say false swipe. That's not the right move. Or if maybe it does have something it could have used for Max Strike, but it just protects with Max Guard, so we'll never know.
Yeah. Alright, 3 more to go.
Pablo. Pablo's a good name for an Amoonguss, actually.
It really is. I didn't expect that.
I'm just picturing the little dog sipping coffee in a fiery room. That's Rope right now.
Yeah, 100%.
so much. And the sleep just to ensure nothing funny is gonna happen here.
Yeah, this is a wrap.
The
Calling
right play
Subway.
on Dreams' part, but still a mean play.
When Subway wants to introduce wraps, they need to watch this match because that's what this is.
Doesn't Subway have wraps?
I don't know, man. I don't I don't get wraps. I
Also,
get it.
totally put Roy in the prediction.
Did you?
I put Dreams versus Rop, and then for the options, it was Dreams and Roy. I'm sorry, Rop. I don't know how I did that, because those are opposite ends. We'll see which Ultra Beast reigns supreme, whether it's Nihilego or Naganadel.
Or Blacephalon.
Or
Forget him.
Blacephalon, you're
He's there.
absolutely right. Blacephalon was kind of blend in with the Ninetales there. Not because they're the same color, but just because there was an awkward space. And so I just kind of skimmed past it. So I guess the better question is, what's superior? 2 Ultra Beasts or 1? Although Bear does have 4 legendaries versus Quill's 2, so... Is revving up the bus. I mean, if I can't rev up a bus, I don't drive.
Hey, it does not mean you can't rev up a bus.
I have major car anxiety. I would probably cry if I sat in the driver's seat of a bus. Let alone if I turned it on.
I'll be honest, you don't even have to turn it on for it to move if you try hard enough. Just cut the brakes. It'll move on its own.
So we got Ultra Beast versus Ultra Beast. And support versus support. They're kind of on the opposite sides. Also, losing to Coco is an interesting name for a Naga. I'm curious if that's like a reference to the anime or something, because that definitely happened. It was a long story. But anyway, Mind Blown seems pretty strong here, but Naga does resist it, so maybe not the best play. I'm curious if Blacephalon sticks around or if it switches or what happens. Okay.
Ah! Well.
Okay. Well, in good news for Quill, Togekiss was probably dead anyway. In bad news for Quill, he just let that Naga be able to switch moves and gave it a life orb.
What?
Goodbye, Laugh Lads. Have a nice shift at work.
Oh, okay. See you later. Have a good one.
We also have a Scarf Clown, which can now pick whatever move it wants, but we know it has Taunt and Trick and Mind Blown. None of which are great to lock yourself into. So it's gonna switch for Ninetales, get the speed up, get the Venusaur going first, get the Quake in, boost the special defense on this side. Naga does protect, predict it, live. And Togedemaru paralyzes the Venusaur just to kind of negate out that sunshine. So Naga will be faster again, especially with this +1 speed from Beast Boost. This is very volatile. Also, can we talk about how this Naga has Protect when it originally was carrying a Scarf? Because Bear expected to max it so much.
I don't think it was carrying the Scarf. I had the Scarf.
It was a life orb. You're right. You confused me. I'm very wise. Anyways, Naga's down. Both Pokemon on Quill's side are paralyzed, and this Thundurus is now here, is the fastest thing on the field. Max is still available. Could be a very volatile Airstream into the Venusaur turn. But no, predicts either a switch or a protect or something. Takes out the Ninetales instead. And Blacephalon is back. back with a citrus berry. No, you took a choice scarf and gave it a life orb, right?
No, I gave the Togedemaru a choice scarf and got its citrus berry.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so when you max, your choice item stops taking effect. So like if your choice specs and then you max, you don't get the boost anymore, but you can pick any move you want. But then as soon as you go back down to not max, you're locked into whatever move you were using before you maxed. And if you haven't used one outside of max yet, you get to pick what you want. Just to explain.
I've made a bad play. I forgot about max guard. Oh, I got paralyzed. Never mind. Worked out.
Worked out, he says. I see the sleep powder came out. Critical hit probably didn't matter, but Venusaur goes down to it.
Have Pharaoh in the back. Have Pharaoh in the back.
Mind blown though, takes them both out. So this Blacephalon is very boosted. Eats the citrus berry, so it has a little health. Ooh, but Tapu Fini's not what Quill wanted to see.
It had to miss the muddy water.
It did have to miss the muddy water, but it
All right,
did not.
that's game one to bear.
Yes, that's only game one. So you guys got a whole nother game to play. Maybe two. Who knows?
Get out of there.
Well, that's just rude. Telling me to leave?
No, not you.
Your dog. I know you were talking to Augie. I just had to be, I don't know, a problem, let's say. Yeah, Encore's rough because
It is
if you max,
raining.
you just ignore it.
I'm gonna close my window really quick.
Okay. I really don't blame Bear for not bringing Ferrothorn against Ninetales Blacephalon, though.
Augie is scared. He is in my lap.
Is it thundering?
I don't think so yet. Don't do it. Oh, is it Viv?
You keep the thunder wherever you are, Viv. I don't want it here.
Yeah, I don't want it either.
Okay, so Togedemaru and Naga come out, and we see Haxorus. Haxarus. I love it. Haxorus and Togekiss.
He probably does hear it with his dog ears, Viv.
You know, Rope, everyone starts somewhere. If you don't know all the types yet, or how they match up yet, rather, that's fine. There are some matchups I still mix up all the time.
I can't remember what it was earlier, but I said something about a fairy and not remembering that it was weak to something.
Oof. Okay, this is a big turn for Quill because he got a follow me that didn't end up mattering. He got a Dragon Dance totally free, and the Togedemaru switched out, and the Naga protected. So Bear's probably regretting his choice of move first turn. Let's put it that way. Does Ghost resist Bug? I think Ghost resists Bug, right?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Huh. Well, anyway, so we'll see, because now this Haxorus is large next to the Thundurus, who's also large, and it's got max Rockfall, so that Thundurus just wasted its max. And the Sludge Bomb from the Naga doesn't even kill the Togekiss.
Why did it not kill this time?
Oh.
I very much expected it to kill that
Must be
time.
a roll, because it killed last time.
Yeah.
That's actually surprising. Okay, so Togedemaru back out. I guess it could fake out Togekiss, but then Naga's just gonna die to assumably max Wormwood from the Haxorus, so unless you But Togekiss is just gonna follow me, I'm sure, so Nuzzle's not really the right play, right? There's the Max Wormwind. And there's the Nuzzle. I guess you make sure you kill with that, but the
Crit mattered.
sand would have done it too, so... Crit mattered. Always matters. So... Bear... down to his last two. Feeney's a nice last one to have. And Blacephalon comes out for Quill. Feeney's still a good choice, but I'm not sure Feeney's going to be able to live a Rock Fall or whatever else the Haxorus may have, and a move from this Blacephalon. Protect changes my mind a bit, though. We do learn the Blacephalon has Shadow Ball. Nuzzle comes out onto the Haxorus.
Why did that
but
not
because
para?
of Misty Terrain, it doesn't paralyze.
Oh. Thank you.
So, even rougher for Bear, his own Pokemon sabotages him, really. Rock Slide comes out, does decent damage to each thing. Shadow Ball nearly takes out the Feeney, which decides to munch on a berry. Moonblast that Haxorus, gets it out of here. No more of
Too
that.
strong. Why is Feeney so strong?
But Jelly the Nihilego, is what I'm going to decide to call it, has popped in, and Feeney doesn't... I mean... neither one of these Pokemon want to face each other down, because they're both weak to each other. Which is an interesting situation. And there's still the Blacephalon with the strong Shadow Ball to worry about. Last time it did 39. Feeney's only got 40. It might do 40 this time. It might do 29 or something. I don't think it's quite that dramatic. It might do 32, I guess. Quill reads the Protect, though, or just alternates his targets, and Shadow Balls into the Togedemaru. Sand's now gone. Togedemaru gets a Zing Zap onto the Clown. Yeah, this is
Game 3.
rough for Bear. Game 3 time, yeah. Crazy turnaround shift here on Quill's part. Yeah, Rope Steel previously interacted with every single type.
Did it really?
Yup.
I thought there were some that it missed.
No,
That's crazy.
Now there are, because it doesn't resist Dark and Ghost anymore. But it used to interact with every single type. Game 3 is here, though. I don't know about you guys. I'm a little nervous.
I'm nervous. If that helps anybody.
Yes, Rope, that's correct.
Steel Flying is a very good type combo.
It is. No, it's weak to Electric also.
I think you might have it backwards, Streams. Electric resists Steel, which is a very weird one.
Yes, it is very weird. So, we got the Naga Togedemaru lead and the Ninetales Venusaur lead. Now, last time this happened, I believe the Naga lived the Max Quake from Venusaur. Not if you're Celesteela. Celesteela is weak to Fire and Electric, though. It was very present in VGC 17. Back, how we doing? We're in a game 3 situation, Bunko. So, we're on turn 1 of game 3, or really turn 0, I guess. We just have the leads, but Naga maxing it up. Venusaur not doing the same. Interesting choice here on Quill's part.
I've made a mistake.
Venusaur gets blasted out of existence, and Ninetales goes for the Heat Wave. Makes it so Togedemaru's killable at least, but... Well, you sort of choose your leads in Team Preview, and turn 0 is when they come out, is how it's formally described as. But yeah, this looks ugly, because I'm not sure what Quill can send into a +1 speed Naga and have a shot here. Jelly comes in. I guess Jelly's good. You know, you resist the poison. You're not weak to the dragon. So we'll see. We'll see if this Jelly gets big or if there's another plan in the back. We'll see what this Ninetales can do. We'll see if Togedemaru can get a nuzzle off before it goes down. And we'll see if this Naga has any move that hits Nihilego, like, in a good way. Nihilego, though, chooses to stay small. Only one attack coming from Bear's side goes into the Ninetales, which lives with Sash. Power Herb Meteor Beam Nihilego just barely doesn't get the kill here, but Ninetales ready to clean it all up. A little unfortunate, though, because you want the boost on the Nihilego for killing stuff. But Bear, down to his last two, we see Feeny or Shifu. We're in that situation again where it's a little rough because Feeny and Nihilego don't want to look at each other. And Urshifu also is a problem. I wonder if you're Bear, if you ignore the Ninetales or if you do go for it. Because at this point it's just spamming Heat Wave, which Feeny doesn't care that much about, but Urshifu might. And if you can't burn the Urshifu. So we'll see what Bear decides to prioritize in terms of targeting here. One of these players is thinking very hard about their choice.
It was Bear.
Okay, so now the Jelly gets big. It hides a turn. The Feeny hides a turn. And the Urshifu does have Sucker Punch, takes out that Ninetales. And Togekiss comes out. So, could be a bit of a problem for that Urshifu. Both because it could Dazzling Gleam and because it could redirect. I would imagine the redirect is the more prominent thing on Quill's mind, but what do I know? I am not in his brain. So Follow Me comes out, Max Ooze into the Tapu Fini. Doesn't quite kill it. That 90 cap on Max Ooze, very brutal here. Double crit into this poor Togekiss, one of which was not guaranteed. Gotta say it, you know. The last two on both sides, game 3 situation. This turn could really change how the battle ends. I think if I were Quill, my choice would be to go for the Urshifu this turn because you outspeed the Feeny. And that's exactly what he does, but the Urshifu has Dash. Takes out the Togekiss through Protect. Feeny gets off the muddy water, but thanks to Sun, it doesn't do much. And Nihiligo's great special defense. Sucker
Ow!
Whoa! Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
I was like, Sucker Punch can still come out. I wasn't expecting it to do. Oh my gosh! Okay.
That was some good games. GG, Bear.
Wow. Okay, so Bear takes down Quill with Urshifu, the obnoxious Pokemon. Oh my gosh.
All right. Well, that was fun. Straubs versus Dreams is up next. We got pretty standard stuff versus pretty non-standard stuff. When you have a grap locked, you're pretty forced into non-standard stuff.
Well, I don't know how super forced, but somewhat forced.
Yeah, I mean, like you could have taken like Grimmsnarl and I don't know what's a good fighting type that's available. Obviously,
Urshifu.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. I didn't just lose to one of those or anything.
No. Hitmontop's also pretty good in doubles.
Yeah.
Scrafty can be good.
Scrafty? I haven't seen that in a while.
It's also a fake out intimidate stuff, but being 4 times weak to fairy doesn't do it any favors.
Yeah, it's definitely better in Gen 5.
Yeah, imagine. But I mean, there haven't been a whole lot of fairy attackers here other than mine.
Yeah.
And one of mine didn't even have a fairy move, so... Well, I guess Marsha's team had 2 fairies, but they were spamming psychic moves.
Yeah. Okay, we're seeing the close combat come out into that Urshifu, which is sashed. Close combat from the Urshifu into the Lapras. But the Celesteela is back to being chunky and deadly.
Oh dear.
I want to remind both the players that this is 2 out of 3. I don't know if they're
either
listening.
one are listening. Okay, you got it. I was also typing a message.
Yeah. Oh, we got the double psychics out here. This is Poor Man's Hatterene and Indeedee.
The problem is that you can't spam Expanding Force because Urshifu is Urshifu.
Right.
And Gleam is not going to touch that Celesteela.
This Gardevoir down to its sash versus the world. Not looking great for it, to be honest.
No, especially not with the Regieleki there. Likely this Gardevoir's not going to get another chance to... Oh, okay. Straub's making a point that I may be down, but I'm still fighting.
Alright, well that was a very fast game 1 compared to... One of them just asked, is this best of 3 in the chat?
I know. Can't win.
And Dreams wants a run back. 100%.
Yeah, Dreams is going hard.
If Dreams wins this match, I almost want him to beat me to see the run back.
Quill gonna throw for the content.
Absolutely not. I'm going to mind blown all over this entire team.
I don't really like that phrasing. No, I knew you wouldn't throw. I was just, you know. Yeah. We'll see if Straubs can come up with a better strategy to deal with the Urshifu Celesteela lead that Dreams has been defaulting to.
Yeah, it's a
very powerful
strong
lead.
That or Regieleki Celesteela.
Also powerful.
Gardevoir traces the Beast Boost. That's a nice trace
That's a
there.
nice adjustment.
We know it has Dazzling Gleam, which will absolutely knock Urshifu down to its sash. And if I remember from the last game, Heracross was faster than Urshifu. But
Which might indicate an item on the Heracross.
Yeah.
Dude,
That
Pokemon
thing's
Masters
usually
actually
slow.
has a really good OST. Unironic.
I actually have not seen or played any Pokemon Masters.
I mean, it's like a fairly standard gacha. They're decently generous. I haven't even logged in today. I should log in. But the music's pretty good.
The only thing I really know about that game is the hashtag that it had for a while.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They did not think about that rebranding. But anyway,
What a fun time. I loved Twitter that day.
I did not love Twitter that day. That was a very awkward day to be on Twitter.
It
Especially
very
with
much
people
was.
who decided to artwork with it and...
Oh,
So
here we
Thunder
go.
Punch into the Gardevoir. Close combat into the Urshifu. Brings it down to a sash. Gardevoir gets the Dazzling Gleam. Knocks out the
Something
Urshifu.
dies
He's
here.
gonna get a Beast Boost. But
Gardevoir.
it goes down to the Steel Spike. However, this does mean that Heracross is still here. Still able to Scarf Close Combat something.
Neo, are you a big Heracross fan? Is that why it says for Neo in the thing?
Neo's Heracross on his team was named Holy Hera.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I
At
missed
least
that.
I think. That's what I think I remember it being. No, Bunko. Only main series are in Pokemon Hurdle.
Gotcha. It was faster than a Lecky?
Yeah.
Like, I
Scarf
understand that
insane.
this thing is scarfed. However, I didn't know anything could outspeed a Lecky.
Yeah. Obviously, some things can.
Obviously,
Okay.
but like, when I was looking at it,
It's not much.
there's a common Venusaur set that doesn't outspeed it under Sun. If you have max speed Alecki.
This is awkward for Straubs because that Grassy Glide will kill Lapras, but if you protect your Lapras and Dreams reads that, you just lose your Heracross, and then Lapras is still in peril next turn.
Will Grassy Glide kill Heracross here? I don't think so.
Not necessarily, but if he reads it and both of his Pokemon target into the Heracross,
Or,
which switches
hear
into
me out
Trevenant.
here, switch in Trevenant.
Okay.
Immune to the Fake Out, takes the Airstream
Oof.
perfectly, took 100% of its health. That's perfect. And
Lapras
lightnings
did go for
the...
a move, though. Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised
No
he didn't...
Grassy Glide, though.
I was surprised there wasn't a ice move into Rillaboom.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the Heracross maybe has Mega Horn, and that's the hope. I don't remember the set, so I'm just spouting here.
There's the Max Guard and Mega Horn.
There's the Mega Horn.
You have called this 100% so far.
The Heracross goes down though, and this, I don't.
Was Lapras
I don't
faster?
see a way. Is Lapras faster? I don't think
No.
so. No,
Not with
especially
the-
not with the speed
yeah.
boost.
That's unfortunate, but that is 2-0 to Dreams.
Yeah.
GG Dreams. I guess we can play now. Hope you're ready to move straight into the losers finals match. Alright, here we go.
Losers finals. We're up on the board. Best 2 out of 3 again. We got Quill's Ultra Beast SmackDown team versus Dreams' pretty standard, for the most part, VGC team.
Yeah, this team is super standard. As much as you can get with
I've
this.
definitely seen all of these Pokemon on a team together before today.
Have you? Like this exact lineup?
Maybe not the exact moves and items and stuff,
Right,
but this
right, right.
exact lineup I have seen before, yes.
That's wild. Prediction's about to close with 0 on Dreams. I think you guys are making a mistake not voting on Dreams.
We'll see what happens though. So Celesteela and Alecki come out for Dreams, and Ninetales and Togekiss for Quill. I gotta say, this Togekiss doesn't really like its position.
Our music stopped. What do we want to get here for the next music? I feel like we should get some Glitch X City battle music.
Can't do this one. Good luck to both. Is it your parents saying they're going to bed, or they can't pick a side?
I don't know. Did anyone vote on Dreams?
Did anyone
They
vote
did.
on...
Okay, somebody...
Yes.
3 people chimed in at the last minute and were like, yeah, Dreams is actually going to win this, by the way.
Oh yeah, prediction. Let me get my points in. Aha, the parents cannot pick a side. They will stay here.
Okay.
Good, good. It'd be very sad for them to miss out on this. So Celesteela, loud and proud. Electro Web from Alecki. It doesn't hurt that Togekiss because of its Protect, but does slow down the Ninetales, who takes out the Alecki. And Rockfall comes in, gonna take that Ninetales out, give that Celesteela a nice boost, and set up the sand to get chip on all of Quill's team. Except Nihilego, if that's here. So now what will each trainer send out? What is Quill's best choice against Celesteela? It's probably the Blacephalon, honestly. So what does Dreams send out to handle that? I can't imagine it's Rillaboom or Amoonguss. So there's Rotom Heat. And actually Quill surprises me and sends out the Venusaur instead. Not a bad choice by any means, just not the choice I expected. Well, potentially a bad choice since the Rotom Heat came out, but Quill didn't know that. Togekiss can pull a move, Depending on which one of these two moves faster between the Celesteela and the Rotom, it may only get one move though. And Venusaur misses the Sleep Powder because, of course, when you need it to have eyes, it just doesn't come through.
Yeah,
Togekiss
and
goes down.
that matters a lot because now he has the speed boost.
Yes. So now this Celesteela is likely faster than most things on Quill's side, depending on how his Pokemon are invested, at least. And we do know that the Venusaur is faster than the Rotom. So there is, well, not anymore with the speed boost, but it was. So that's good information for another game if Quill decides to keep it in mind. Nihilego takes out the Rotom, gets a nice boost, takes an Airstream, I don't know, predicting Dreams would double into the Venusaur or something.
Well, this isn't good.
But now it's Jelly versus the world. And that means that Jelly has to handle Urshifu, on top of handling Celesteela. I think if it was just one... Well, no, I don't think... I'm not sure that Jelly could handle either one of these on its own, actually.
I don't think I can. Oh, yeah, well,
oof.
no, absolutely not.
Okay. Nice critical hit Flash Cannon from Celesteela.
Dreams just winning by luck, dodging a Sleep Powder.
The Sleep Powder miss was very unfortunate.
That's alright, though. We'll get it next time.
Well, you have another shot, because now we're on game number 2. Can the Ultra Beast party get it done? Or is Dreams' standard core gonna make it through? I sure don't know.
It's a luck vortex. It's an interesting way to put it.
He's not really wrong. Dreams also that game kept the Urshifu in the back, which hasn't really done that most of the time today. It's mostly been up in the front there.
Hey,
Let's
Bear.
see what Dreams... Oh, go ahead.
Bear, didn't you build your team like an hour before this started or so? Movesets and EVs an hour before. Yeah. All right.
I should have made the Yucky Moltres team,
Yeah.
but I wanted to have fun and not be gross meta.
I feel like I am a little bit gross meta with this Ninetales Venusaur.
Yeah, but like the rest of your team isn't. Okay. So we got a G-Max Vine Lash out onto the Urshifu. We got an Overheat onto the Dynamax Celesteela. Venusaur takes the Wicked Blow. Rockfall going into the Ninetales. Bring it down to Sash, or... Sash?
Yeah, it brought it down to Sash. And then Sandstorm.
It doesn't even say that. It just naturally lived.
Oh, okay. Well.
Anyway, Sandstorm takes out Ninetales. Vine Lash takes out Urshifu, which makes one less problem for Quill, really. And now that the Celesteela is down below half with its max and constantly getting hit by Vine Lash, there's a chance here. Let's see what else both of these players have in the back, though. Blacephalon, Regieleki. Moltres itself is not yucky, but the team I could have put together was a very standard, high-performing team, minus the Mimikyu, during the series where Moltres was allowed, with no, like, restricted legendaries or anything. I would have went Mimikyu, Galarian Moltres, Raichu, Comfey, Incineroar, and Urshifu. Anyway, back to what's important. Mind Blown takes out Regieleki, puts the Celesteela low enough that Vine Lash will take it out, and Venusaur just kept itself nice and safe. The only thing is that the Celesteela did take out Blacephalon, so it's now a 2v1. It's gonna be Jelly and Venusaur versus Rillaboom, and I gotta say, I'm kind of on the Jellyfish's side here.
That was a big thunder.
Ooh,
Ow!
Just kidding. Grassy Glide kills it. But Maxuse kills the Rillaboom anyway. Quill takes this one, and now we're into game 3.
I don't know how this always happens to me.
And what a game 3 this could be. That game 2 was actually pretty fast, so I'm a little nervous about how this game 3 is gonna go. So we got the leads here. We got Ninetales and Blacephalon against Regieleki, Celesteela. If I'm in Quill's spot, I'm pretty content with this lead, let me tell ya. We'll see if Dream switches out that Celesteela though. We'll see. I mean, nothing really wants to take Mind Blown Heat Wave on his team. Maybe Rotom could live it, but not a great spot to be in. In fact, I think if you're Dreams, your play is either to max guard the Celesteela, but you can't because you're AV, so never mind. Okay, so Quill actually protects Ninetales this time, so it won't die in one hit to the Rockfall. Does kill the Alecki. But this just lets Urshifu come in and Sucker Punch the Blacephalon for free. Although if you switch, if you're Quill, then you don't have to worry about it, but if you get red, then that's really unfortunate too. There's a lot of mind games going on every turn here. Especially because now they're pretty confident in what the other one has on each of their Pokemon. So we'll see if the Sucker Punch comes out, the Switch comes out, what happens. We'll see if... Oh, we'll see what Ninetales can do if it lives long enough. Sounds like Quill's thinking long and hard about this.
I am. I think this turn decides the game.
I think it very well might. We'll see. I don't know if Quill's locked in his moves. Okay, so Ninetales switches out for the Jelly. The Sucker Punch does come out and Blacephalon goes down. Jelly should take a max Rockfall pretty easy. Venusaur comes in. So now the question is, does the Jelly switch back out for the Ninetales so Venusaur can max itself up and take out... I would think you would take out the Urshifu here, since that's the real big threat to your Nihilego, as long as the Celesteela doesn't get too fast. But we'll see. Actually, the Nihilego just goes for a Dazzling Gleam and kills the Urshifu, so I'm guessing Sleep Powder coming out. Unfortunately, the same luck though. Misses again.
Heck.
Venusaur goes down.
The classic.
Both players down to their last two, and it's Rotom for Dreams and the Ninetales returns for Quill. The Sun's back, which is helpful in taking out the Celesteela, but also makes that Rotom do a bit more damage with the overheat. We'll see here. Just watching intently, as both of you are probably having a mental breakdown trying to find the right move.
I don't know what Dreams is going to do here.
The Max Rock Fall from Nihilego into the Rotom takes it out, and I'm assuming Heat Wave. Oh no, Overheat from the Ninetales takes out the Celesteela, and Quill moves on.
Yeah, that was
Wow.
it's a rough, scary game, and I'm kind of surprised that I won.
I think my brain walked itself in circles trying to figure out what you guys were gonna do.
Dude, the problem with fighting Bear is that he's already faced me in 3 games and won 2 of them, and he's good too.
And now
So
you guys know stuff about each other's team, which means you get to think yourselves in circles.
yeah.
Oh, I guess I better pull it up.
Yeah, we're up. The channel point prediction is up too. Nobody's voted yet.
You guys gotta gamble. But
Go
only
gamble.
for, and not for monetary value.
Unless you're me. You can gamble for monetary value.
Look, I have to make sure the UK doesn't come for us by saying gamble, okay?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, let's hit him with the golf, and then
Golf. Alright, we got the Ultra Beast Showdown again. Naga and Nihilego and Blacephalon versus Naga. We'll see which Ultra Beast or Ultra Beasts come out on top. We'll also see if Urshifu just takes the game away again.
well, I'm selected.
So now we wait.
I think it's gonna be very hard to beat Bear in 2 back-to-back sets.
Well, it doesn't have to be back to back. You could win, lose, win.
No, I mean like 2 best of 3s
Yes,
in a row.
I know
in general.
what you mean.
Okay.
Right, so we have the fabled Naga Togedemaru lead on Bear's side and the Haxorus Togekiss on Quill's side. We'll see if Quill can get away with the Follow Me Dragon Dance again, or if the Fake Out's gonna shut that one right down. Actually though, we're seeing a helping hand onto the Naga. Sludge Bomb will take out Togekiss, no problem. Get the Beast Boost. Dragon Dance comes out, so both Pokemon at +1 speed, and Naga went first last time. Probably gonna stay that way if I had to guess. So we'll see what Quill sends out and how he's gonna handle this now fast Naga.
I didn't realize this thing got speed beast boost. I thought I got the special attack beast boost.
It's very fast. You have to build it kind of specific to get special attack ones, if I recall.
Okay. I think I lose.
Actually, you don't have to build it that specific. I think it matters what nature you have. Anyway, Blacephalon is here. It is ready to go. Just a CBR chicken bacon ranch. Sounds really good. Also, that doesn't sound like it would pair good with a Reese's cup, but I also don't like Reese's. Anyway, Haxorus is large and in charge. It is protecting, so is the Naga. Togedemaru is going to get the nuzzle, but it's not going to hit anything. So, really, good play on Bear's part because he just ate a turn of Quill's Max for nothing. Now the Naga's maxed.
Yeah.
Max Wormwoods just obliterates that poor Haxorus. Gets another speed boost. Shadow Ball not going to do nearly enough to it to help take it out here.
This one is over.
Jelly is here, but I don't know if Jelly can save this one.
Viv.
Hitting some. I don't like peanut butter and chocolate together. I like them separate but not together. It's always a big thing whenever I say it, and people just get so like offended because it's like, how do you not like Reese's? It's the best. Okay. But hold on a sec. I'm sorry for coughing. I didn't think I had to.
You were fine.
The Naga does not kill the Blacephalon. It goes down to Nihilego. We might have a game yet, you guys. This Nihiligo's pretty boosted at this point. And while the Blacephalon is locked into Shadow Ball, it did a good amount to the Togedemaru the turn it used it on it. I don't remember if that was this game or a different game, but it did quite a bit. Yeah, that was this game. So there may be a chance yet for Quill here.
Bear is thinking very hard right now. Peanut, I cannot believe it's not butter.
So, actually, really good on Bear's part. He switches out the Feeny for Ferrothorn, which is immune to the Sludge Bomb that was fairly obviously going into that spot. So he buys his Feeny at least another turn. And I'm not quite sure how Quill hits the Ferrothorn reasonably. I mean, the Shadow Ball does a good amount, but yeah, Gyro Ball picks up the cleanup kill. And we know that Nihilego has Dazzling Gleam, which isn't going to hit it very hard. We know it has Sludge Bomb. We know it has Meteor Beam. None of those moves hit Ferrothorn very hard. And
I was not prepared for Ferrothorn.
Just goes down, yeah. So, interesting adjustment to bring Ferrothorn into Ninetales and Blacephalon. But it plays out in Bear's favor here.
Alright, game 2. It's up.
So, game number 2. We'll see what happens. We'll see how this goes. These leads and first turns can be so volatile, especially with these two teams.
Yeah.
They're eyeing each other warily.
What's the matter, trainer?
I love that one.
That's such a good one.
One Pokemon is capable of going on, but the other one looks tired.
I was always a big fan of, wow, it's a one-hit wonder.
Yeah. Okay, so we got the leads, and actually, Bear coming in with the Thunderous this time. Thunderous and Tapu Fini against Quill, Haxorus, Togekiss. I wonder what we're gonna see here. I'm pretty sure Bear's Fini did have Calm Mind also when we saw it earlier. So I wonder if perhaps we're gonna see a turn where the Thunderous. I'll stop theorizing. Let's just see.
Oh, all right. Well,
Ooh,
GG.
alright, so big read on Bear's part. Togekiss follows me into nothing, realistically. Will's Haxorus maxes and Rock falls into a Thunderous that's no longer there, and Fini, as I mentioned before, just Calm Minds up. You can still redirect that Fly or a potential Moonblast or whatever comes out from this Fini, but now it's a little awkward. Fly could also miss. So, I mean, if you're Quill, you're still in a good spot though, because if you follow me, Fly shouldn't kill you. But he doesn't. He goes for the Rock Fall, which takes out the Thunderous. And the Togekiss, oh, just kidding. Fini goes for Moonblast, takes out the Haxorus, and Togekiss yawns the Fini. This is a really interesting choice with Misty Terrain up, though, because I don't think the Fini can fall asleep.
I forgot about Misty Terrain. I'm big dumb.
So, and Quill doesn't have a way to change the terrain now that his max is gone. So we'll
I'll be
pretend
right
that
back.
one didn't happen there. So now Ferrothorn's here, and Venusaur's here. And we know Venusaur can hit a Tapu Fini pretty hard. We'll also see if Bear acknowledges that it's Misty Terrain and keeps Fini there and doesn't switch it, because players forget about terrain a lot.
Yeah.
So the Togekiss switches out for the Ninetales. The Ferrothorn maxes. Venusaur Sludge Bombs into the Fini. Doesn't do enough. Muddy Water comes out. Gets the accuracy drop on both Pokemon. That's absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
And Ferrothorn starts Steel Spiking, trying to clean up this game later with some defense-boosted body presses, I'm sure. It does still have to worry about Ninetales if it doesn't want to max guard this turn. And Tapu Fini protects, but Ferrothorn doesn't max guard. Takes
It
the
didn't
overheat.
kill.
just
Sun boosted
barely.
max special attack overheat in the sun? Huh?
Just barely hangs in there. Quill is now down to his last two in the Togekiss Venusaur. And Bear still has one left. We'll see what happens, but unless this Venusaur somehow takes out the Ferrothorn, I think it's gonna be an easy kill on the Togekiss. And then you also just leave the Tapu Fini alone if you go for the Ferrothorn. So maybe you go for a Dazzling Gleam, but I don't think a Dazzling Gleam's gonna kill a maxed out Ferrothorn. And on Bear's side, I don't think a Muddy Water is gonna kill either of these Pokemon, but you could drop accuracy again on the Venusaur and Steel Spike the Togekiss if you live. Oh boy. So we see the Fini protect, the Sludge Bomb comes out,
Yeah.
the Dazzling Gleam doesn't get the crit, doesn't kill, Steel Spike goes into the Venusaur, doesn't kill.
Surprised to see that go into Venusaur.
Yeah, really interesting for Bear to target the Venusaur there, because if you kill the Togekiss, you don't have to worry about any redirection. You still get the boost. I mean, I guess, I don't know, because even if you expect the follow me, you still click the thing you want to hit in case it doesn't come out. But at this point, Dazzling Gleam should kill the Ferrothorn. So Venusaur really just has to hit the Tapu Fini. And I think the Fini should go down. I think. Let me look back. Depending on how the rolls work, it should, to my knowledge. Oh boy.
I also have 75% accuracy.
Yes, that's why I said you have to hit.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what Bear decides to do, what his last Pokemon is.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned. Be honest.
There's a lot. Bear's thinking very hard about this turn. At least
Yeah,
I think
he is.
it's Bear.
Yeah, it's Bear.
I
Is
can't
there
blame
a
him for
bigger
thinking
Quill?
either.
I guess since we're in the grand finals, I'm pretty sure this Ferrothorn is okay, yeah. This is
Well,
Oh, I crit the Fini. Okay. Oh, I forgot it had a Wiki Bear. Alright, it's over.
oof.
I wonder why he switched Pharaoh out.
I'm not really sure, to be honest with you.
Is this not over? I'm just clicking the Dazzling Gleam button.
Well, but the Fini goes before you in Moonblast, so it should still be over.
Yeah. Okay. GG's to Bear.
Wow. And that's that, everyone.
Bear!
Hello.
Turn this music down a little, or turn it off, just so we get better audio quality hearing you.
Understandable.
How you doing, Chief?
I'm just kind of like, wow.
Yeah.
I won another one of your tournaments.
Dude, that was a great last couple matches between you and I.
It really was. That last game, like, honestly, I was already I was already just thinking, like, alright, how am I gonna adapt for game 3? But Finny was just like, nah, I'm dodging the sludge bomb.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, what?
Well, the Venusaur needs to find some glasses.
Yeah.
Apparently. But no, this was I think I had more fun in this one than the last one. I'm not even gonna lie. Like,
Yeah, I
so
mean,
fun.
your bracket was Alex, who had the Aggron, then Kitsune, who is here with us, Dreams, which was an amazing match,
Yeah.
and then me and me, which was I enjoyed our first set more than the second one because I did better, but
Oh yeah, that's
uh,
understandable.
it either way, both of those were really close, and you recognized the outs on your team to beat my team.
Yeah.
Pretty
I,
strong.
when going into game 2, I definitely tried to I tried to like do a more aggressive lead because I knew you had already understood that like Togedemaru was like a really big player in my team, so I was expecting you to try to like counter it alongside Naganado, because that first game Naganado kind of just ran through.
Yeah.
So I tried to like mix you up, and it was working for a bit, and then there was just a point where it just kind of fell apart, and I was like, oh well. It was literally because I had actually forgot your Ninetales had overheat, because I was just like, all right, Heatwave's not gonna do that much to me, and then you
Yeah.
overheated, and I was like, oh, that's not. I forgot.
Dude, I can't believe a Ferrothorn. It's AV, right?
Yeah, it's AV.
I can't
It
believe
has to
even
be.
with AV that it survived a max special attack, timid Ninetales overheat in the sun.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was just like, Because I knew it would. I knew it could probably take like a heat wave for like spread damage, but like
Yeah.
I saw overheat and I was like, oh, I just threw this whole game, didn't I? Like AV is assault vest.
Yeah. Uh, and yes, interesting name. Bear did end up winning. He beat me in the finals. Um,
In a nice run where he never even ended up in the losers bracket.
yeah, it's
You know?
pretty crazy. You did a great job, especially for not prepping for this tournament too much.
The
I
Um,
number
honestly, the
3 seed. Oh, go ahead, Bear. I'm sorry.
oh, you're good. I was just like, I just kind of let VGC fundies just carry me. That's pretty much all I did. Kind of like how in Smash, I just let fundies kind of carry me.
yeah, for sure. And
But
I mean,
but
it paid off. So,
yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and make a presumption here that you would
Mm.
like a $20 gift card over being able to pick a platformer for me to play. I'm guessing.
Uh, See, usually I would easily take the gift card, but actually, here's a question: do you count the new Kirby game as a 3D platformer?
Yes, it will be
Okay,
available. Like if that's what you want, then we'll put it in the queue. But I have to beat it on my own first. I haven't
Well,
beaten
you
it
got a
yet.
couple platformers in the queue
oh,
anyway.
Yeah,
that you know what? Fair enough. I'll probably just take the gift card then.
you sure?
I
I
forgot.
mean, well, it'll go. I'll play it on stream for you if you would like that as your prize.
I low key would.
Okay,
Like,
yeah, that's fine. I don't want you to feel like I'm locking you out of that.
oh
Uh,
no,
my wife just
I
got home, so she's calling the dog over.
I shouldn't. Cause I remember last time I picked the platformer, I wasn't even able to like. I only got to watch like 2 days, and then I was just like,
Yeah,
dang, I didn't get to see the rest.
because you picked Galaxy, right?
Yeah, I
And
had
then
actually wanted to see that, but
I had massive computer problems during Galaxy. And
oh,
I think
okay.
it's the last thing that I uploaded to YouTube from these pickup platformers, and I really need to get back to doing those. Uh,
I'd actually kind of I meant because I was like I had noticed after a few days you weren't streaming it anymore, and I was like, did he finish it already? And in my head I was just like, he probably just finished it, and I just missed out on it. But I didn't realize you were having like PC problems either.
yeah, for that one specifically, it was like stream stuttering super bad because my processor had maxed out. Uh,
Oh,
You were still on your laptop then, though, right?
yes, that's correct.
but that's pretty nice. I'm assuming you have. What? I'm dumb. You have a capture card for like consoles
Yeah,
and stuff, right?
I
Yeah.
actually I just bought some new equipment to get even better capture of retro games. So
Uh, okay, that's pretty nice. I was gonna say the Kirby game is only out on Switch right now,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I got a capture
but
card for it. Don't worry.
eh, then I'll take that then.
I went ahead and put that in the queue there just so that it doesn't get forgotten or anything.
Let's
Uh,
go.
but yeah,
Kirby and the Forgotten the name
The
of the
name of
game.
the game. I mean,
and
you were close.
let me get some gift subs out here.
I guess while I'm in here, I already showed you my team, but I'm gonna post this in the chat.
Sub, yeah, absolutely.
I guess while I don't know if anyone's really curious, but I'll just drop this in here. Where'd you see the Pokemon chat?
Yep.
Alright. But
Let's
no,
get
I
one
I
sub
truly had
to
a blast with
Bear.
this.
Bear, there you go. There's your gift sub for winning.
Let's go.
And then I'll give mine to Bunko. He's always here. He deserves it. And then I'll ask Dreams when we get him in the call. But yeah,
Fair enough.
Bear, is there anything else you want to add before I let you go here?
This kind of reminded me of how fun VGC really can be. I know for like it really wasn't up until recently that I started like enjoying playing it again. Because if you remember, I did complain about a lot about Series 12 like way back when it was announced and stuff. I was talking about how I would never play it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Didn't we
And
all?
yeah, and then recently I kind of got into it. I was like, this isn't that bad. And then you hit me up for your tournament. I was like, this is even better. Like,
Yeah.
I'm in the VGC mood again, so decided to join up. Thank you very much for hosting this though. Like,
Oh, of course, dude. I love hosting it. So,
I know I don't get to join it that often, but like when I do have a blast. It's really fun.
can we give the influencer stats? I don't know what you mean, Viv, but yes. Uh, and Bear, I will say, I really, really hope that you can make the next tournament in July. We're gonna do it on another Saturday, I'm sure. Uh,
Yeah.
and it's going to be a good one, and it's going to give you a huge opportunity to creatively team build. Were you here for the intro where I announced some stuff about
I
it?
did hear that. You said you didn't want to like drop too many hints about it, but you said it was gonna be like one of the biggest tournaments, and you get to like really show your creativity. And I
Yeah,
can't really wait because I actually do. Because once you do announce it, I probably will try to join that one.
sounds good. Um, the big like kicker to it is that it's going to be in a national dex format.
I
So
did hear that. So
uh,
you're gonna have to do a little bit of work for Showdown.
yeah, we'll get it though. Dreams did it for his tournament. We can do it for mine. That's
Yeah, I do
but
remember that.
let's I hope to see you at that one because I'm really looking forward to seeing a lot of the people that have, especially people that have won these tournaments before and done really well in them, to see where they can get their creative juices going, um, and see how that can be effective in a new format. Since none of us have ever played VGC Nat decks for Gen 8,
Yeah,
really.
for sure. I'm gonna have to look at some of the mons because
Yeah,
it's
Depends how
it's
you
been
define it.
yeah, true.
either way. You know, you just hit me up, or you probably ping me because you usually ping for some of these
Yeah,
brackets.
for sure.
But yeah, thanks again, bro.
Yeah,
I'll step out
absolutely.
so others can get in here.
Yeah, we'll get Dreams in here.
All right, have a good one.
Bye
Thank you.
there.
Bye,
Congrats.
Bear. Congrats.
Thanks again. Thank you again.
There he is.
Sorry,
Dreams.
I was getting my frustrations out, my friend.
Yeah.
I was pretty much just saying I was looking over my matches and I saw easily how I could have beaten you and Bear, and it
Yeah.
made me sad. It made
It's
me
all
really, really sad.
you got the hindsight's 2020 stuff for sure. It
Yeah,
always happens.
game three. I mean, let me look back in my head because I looked it over and I saw how I could have beat you in the case of if I would have rock followed onto um whatever that Ultra Beast Pokemon is called. I always forget his name. The clown one.
Yeah.
I would have
Cephalon?
yeah, Cephalon. I would have put you in a pretty bad situation. But let's say that scenario didn't happen. Whatever happened happened. If I would have maxed Steel into the slot where you switched off of Nihilego, is that who you said?
Yeah.
The hell go, yeah.
Nihilego. It would have been a way better option because what would you realistically switch to? Like, well, you wouldn't switch to Venusaur. You could switch. I mean, you wouldn't. You didn't bring Haxorus. I don't think you would want to bring Haxorus. And
Right.
then Togekiss would have been dead. So I don't know why I didn't do that. I just thought of it like right. I thought of it like after I watched the match back up. I'm like, no, I was like right there. And if I got that, I think that would have changed the whole tides where you had to bring Ninetales back out, and then or Venusaur even, which you probably wouldn't want to bring Venusaur, and then it would have been a lot more favorable. I could have lost still, but it would have been a lot more favorable.
Yeah.
And
So
then there, I just lost the Paraflinch, which sucks, and a few misplays here and there.
yeah, I think it would have been nice to see you and Bear face off in the grand finals too, but I couldn't just let you win either, you know.
No, I know you couldn't let me win. I know.
Um so a couple things. One, you heard what I announced at the beginning too, or when I was just talking to Bear, right? With her the
Yeah,
next tournament?
I heard. I think I came kind of late, but I overheard what Bear was talking about. I know it was like the whole creativity, make your own tournament, and kind of
Yeah.
a lot more free roam to do what you would like to.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of creative juices flowing, and that's all I'm
Hmm.
gonna like say about why that is until we actually announce the tournament.
Yeah,
But I'm excited for it. I'm really, really excited for it. More,
me
I was
too.
my wife has recognized that I am more excited for that tournament than I was for this tournament the whole week leading up to this tournament. You do not get to create your own Pokemon, Viv.
Oh, finally! I'm making a Pokemon that has the move called Rust. So when it hits you, you get poisoned.
Okay, like a
That's a nice ability.
steel move with it inflicts poison.
Yeah, it's like the Kupfu and Urshifu like specialty. They only have their own thing. It's a legendary, you know.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's his own
I'm on
thing.
board.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I thought
Yep.
about that back in 2019. I just kind of forgot about those very second.
We need to
Togepi just
perish
ruined
off
Dream's whole
that's
plan.
one turn.
Why does Rope's Paste have 2 Quagsires?
Double.
Um,
But no, I'm really excited for that actually. I was for this tournament personally. I was actually very excited about this. I made my team I think day one, and then it was like a good team, and then I redid it when I saw Celestial. I was like, okay, and then it really worked out. And I was like, by like week one of the when it first came out, which is like never happens. I never actually make a team week one, which I think no one ever does either. I was really excited, and I thought to myself, I was like, okay, I want to win this whole entire thing. Mainly because I was just beating Vivian's team. I was like, this feels good. It's like, this feels good for the revenge off. And then I was just looking at potential Pokemon for people. Nate's scaring me because of just Moltres. I don't know how to fight Moltres G ever. I've never learned. And then Bear is just kind of like, I know he can do some Tokenomaru, and I just know he has a pretty bright mind.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I gotta ask you because Bear took the 3D platformer choice. What gift card do you want?
Oh,
You got $20 for third place, dude.
$20 for third place. Yeah, that's kind of dope. Which are the two different ones? Sorry. Or
You
were there
can
two
get
different
pretty
options?
much whatever you want, but I just
Oh.
suggested Nintendo or Steam because that's normally what people here would get.
Okay, let me think about that for a second.
Dude, Viv actually makes a good point. You could ask for a gift card to a
Yeah.
third place.
My man's ain't got
honestly,
no job, got 5 finals.
I got no job. I quit my job today. I got 5 finals, and I got $50 in my bank account,
Yeah.
which wasn't a lie. Like on Thursday, but we won't worry about that. Shout out
Bunko,
to JD5 for lending me money to sign up for Riptide. Today's the last day you guys want to go. We'll be
Bunko,
paid
I
back,
gifted
though.
you that sub because I gave it to you for me getting top 3. And that reminds me too, Dreams. Who do you want to gift your sub to since you're already subbed?
Yes, I used my beautiful sub the other day. Well, who else gets the prizes? Straubs? What's another prize? Or was that your prize?
Bear, me, and you. I gave mine to Bunko, and Bear got his own because he didn't have one yet.
Give it to Rop.
Okay.
Give mine to Roplino.
Yeah.
I'm sure Rope would love that.
I'm
Oh,
sure
Rope,
too
my bad.
because
No,
I'm
it's.
a former
I mean,
perk, though.
if you didn't know,
Oh, okay.
Rope has told me that he doesn't care. But yeah, Rope did a great job. This is a big success story for this tournament. And Rope also with a ton of final project stuff going on right now, so I'm sure he's stressed and took a lot of time out of his day to do this tournament too. But yeah, with that, I'm gonna let you have any closing words you want, Dreams. Oh, the thing that I was saying, that Dreams did it. Why can't I? How you ran your Pokemon tournament, where you had to have a special rule set that Nate helped you develop with the showdown coding.
Yeah. Okay.
We're gonna have to do that for this next tournament.
Okay, cool. That sounds pretty dope.
But
I
yeah,
don't think many people use that actually.
yeah, but yeah, custom games are pretty cool. But yeah, I
It
was gonna
sounds
let you
pretty
say any last words that you got because I do need to get going here soon. But I
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
let you give any shout outs or any whatever you want to do.
Oh yeah, final words. I felt pretty strong going into this. I was just trying to prove that I could do just as good as it last time. It got pretty close. Just missed one place by one. But the most important thing we should always figure out is 2 things actually. One, Diddy Kong isn't in Mario Kart, and I think you guys should always know that. If you guys look at Mario Kart, you should know that Diddy Kong isn't the game, and we should really bug Nintendo about that. Number 2, I'm Dreams WGH, and you should go follow me on YouTube and Twitch. If you like Mario Kart of any form, there's a lot of Mario Kart content there, and tell your friends. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
Maybe there'll be a YouTube video about this. I don't know. We'll see. We'll think about it.
dude, you have
The
my
finals.
permission to get your highlights out there if you want to make your YouTube video about a run in this tournament.
Thank you.
Just credit me a little bit. Say that it's my tournament or something.
I'll always leave a link to everybody's stuff who's part of it. Always.
Absolutely. All right. I'm going to hop out of this call. Kitsune, thank you so much for commentating the top 8 with me. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
always a lot of fun.
Dreams,
You-
congrats again on 3rd place.
Thank
And
you.
I
Thank
always
you. I
appreciate you
appreciate it.
being here. But yeah, let me hop out of here and give some closing off remarks in the stream, and then we'll be
Good
out
work,
of here.
everybody. Here.
So, all right, sounds good, Bunko. Yeah, I want to say thank you to everybody for playing. Bear and Dreams both stream, and Dreams does YouTube stuff, so go follow them. They do a lot of different things, but both of them play Mario Kart. I know Bear does a lot of Pokemon Unite. At some point, he was doing Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. Dreams does whatever he wants because Dreams is cool like that. So make sure that you guys check them out if you haven't before. And yeah, we're gonna call it here. And I thank you everybody for playing.